Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Guys, good morning. How are we today?
Good morning, Jen. How are you today?
Better than up in Toronto.
Oh, you got a new suit on today, huh? Yeah, don't think I noticed you trying to sneak a new suit past me.
I didn't even notice.
You did notice.
I didn't even know what you're talking about.
You know what?
Huh?
Oh, you didn't notice. You just put something on, huh?
You know, I just care about my arguments. That's all I
That's all you care
Why
about.
you put that new suit on today?
Somebody
focus.
wants to try to distract the audience
you
with
tried
what
to
he's
distract
wearing.
me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I think I just succeeded.
It ain't gonna
It worked a little bit.
No, not a little bit.
What do
We
you
have
got
a
on,
lot
an
to
old
get
suit
to.
today?
Nah, you know,
Today.
little Caesar Antolini, little something I put together here.
Something.
You know, something my old rags I threw on. I was in a hurry this morning.
The last thing, those are not rags. We have a lot to get to on today's show. How about this for a story? Should Zion stay out of New Orleans?
What?
And why is Odell staying away from Cleveland?
That's a good question.
A lot to get to, but we have to start with the NBA playoffs. The Bucks took game one at home last night over the Raptors, as most people expected. The Greek Freak had a big game with 24 points and 14 rebounds, but no one expected the Bucks to get a career playoff high 29 points from Brook Lopez. On Toronto's side, Kawhi Leonard scored 31, but he only had 2 points in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors were outscored 30-17 in the fourth. So, Shannon,
Yes.
what was the biggest reason why Toronto lost?
Milwaukee's defense, especially in the second half. And once they got past that first quarter where they were just letting Toronto get wide open looks at the three and getting whatever they want, Skip, they really buttoned it down, especially in the second half. They held Toronto to 28% shooting, and only Kyle Lowry was the only Raptor player that shot 50% or better. And when you can hold Kawhi to 10 of 26, Siakam was 6 of 20, Marc Gasol 2 of 11, 1 for 5 for Danny Green. Skip, it's hard to win like that, and they're forcing Kawhi. They did a great job of forcing Kawhi to become a volume shooter. That's not what he is. In the last series, he's efficient. If you look at his numbers in the postseason, he's 53% shooting, but that's not even close to 50%, over 50% last night. And so I thought the length, you know, you got Giannis at almost 7 foot, you got Mirotic, you got Ilyasova, you got Brook Lopez, Middleton is, and Bledsoe is a very good on-ball defender. So they can throw a lot of different looks at him, and I thought it caused them some problems. But what really happened, Skip, they cut the lead in the third quarter. They cut it down to 4 points. And right before the end of the third, Siakam hits a shot, a 35-foot three-pointer, pushes it to 7.
Yep.
But to start the fourth, Kawhi's on the bench because he had played 33 of a possible 36 minutes.
He's on the bench a lot.
Can I finish? You gonna let me finish?
No, I'm just.
It's
yeah,
my
I
turn.
was just.
Let me
I was
talk.
amplifying what
I
you
don't
were
need you
saying.
to. I want you to amplify. I don't want you to amplify.
Adding on.
I'm good. My voice carries.
Good?
Yeah, my voice carries, so I'm amplifying it quite well. But Kawhi had to start on the bench, and what we've seen, and this happens a lot. It's not just unique to Toronto or unique to Kawhi. When your best player sits down, normally the team cuts until you lead. He starts the fourth quarter on the bench. They have a 7-point lead. He rests for about 2.5 minutes, and when he comes back, it's 2 points. And by that time, Milwaukee had gained control.
Really?
Brook Lopez.
That's interesting.
Like, who is this guy?
know.
A guy that scored 27 points in 5 games, all of a sudden comes up with a career-high 29 points in game one. And so, remember, I told you, I said, if you ask, we had this conversation yesterday, you want Kawhi, you want Giannis. I said, I think Kawhi is the better player, but I believe Giannis has the better supporting cast. And they proved me right last night.
Did they?
The defense in which Milwaukee, what? Yeah, they did. Deployed on Toronto.
Yeah.
That's why, Skip. You see the numbers. 15 of 42, 34 of 92, 37% from the field, 35% from the three-point line. And I got that point spread right on. Did I get that point spread? You like that point spread I picked last night, Skip?
I don't even know what
You know, I said 104 to 96.
Really?
I was off a little bit, old Sharpadamus. It was 108 to 100.
Well, Sharpadamus was really off in his assessment of number 2 yesterday because I tried to tell you, I keep trying to tell you, number 2 cannot be trusted when the stakes are at the highest. He had no business making that Game 7 game-winning shot. You know it, and I know it. It was short. It hit the near side of the rim. It had no business lucking in, and it became the luckiest shot in the history of the NBA playoffs. But he followed that up by last night, right on schedule, predictably, costing his team a game the Raptors should have won on the road. Oh, did he cost them? As you just pointed out, I got to get a different TV. I don't know. Maybe I saw a different game, but you got this part right, and then you lost me on all the rest of it. But what you got right was Siakam hit a three-point bomb at the end of the third quarter, a buzzer-beating third-quarter bomb that put them up 7 points at Milwaukee. They had been in control of that game all the way. Every time Milwaukee made a little run, Toronto said, no, we got this.
Correct.
So now we're going to the fourth quarter up 7, and wouldn't you think it's now time for your quote-unquote superstar to take you home in Game 1? Isn't it time for the man you call the best two-way player in all of basketball, the man you proclaimed yesterday is better than the Greek Freak? Isn't it time for him to take over that game in Milwaukee?
Doesn't he get a rest?
Well, all the stars get a rest for a couple of minutes to start the quarter, so he got his couple of minutes off, and then he came in. And then what? I'm glad you asked. From that point on, number 2 played like number 2, and I mean real number 2. And from that point on, he, the North, went nothing but south. You know it, and I know it. Number 2, who quit on the San Antonio Spurs, virtually just didn't show up last night in the fourth quarter for his new team because number 2, and you said he turned into a volume shooter? Yes. He took 3 shots in the fourth quarter.
He took 26.
He took 3 shots. This is the game on the line. You got a lead going to the fourth. You took 3 shots in the fourth quarter. How many did he make, Mr. Sharpe? Help me out. What does your researcher tell you?
He didn't make any shots.
He made no shots in the fourth quarter.
He had 2 points.
He made 2 measly free throws. And I got to say it, I watched all the post-game coverage on TNT and other networks. I read tons of post-game coverage on all kinds of websites. Okay. I didn't hear one peep of criticism for number 2. And you know why? I hate to say this, but I think I've done it again. I think I have turned number 2 into a sympathetic figure. I think I have turned number 2, now that LeBron is on his couch and completely out of the picture, into the most sympathetic and overprotected, quote-unquote, superstar this side. Oh, overprotected. Wait until I get to what I'm going to get to here. But once again, all I heard after the game was it boiled down to a shootout between Brook Lopez and Kyle Lowry. Who knew?
Yeah.
What about that guy? How can you give him a pass for that? Because we keep seeing this in the playoffs, and I keep pointing up to you, but let's just look carefully at what happened last night in the fourth quarter. The biggest shame was your guy, the best two-way player in basketball, he got his shot blocked twice by Brook Lopez. Can we see the first one? 6 minutes and 11 seconds left. They're down 5, and your guy, number 2, goes into the lane and throws up the weakest. You know what? You will see. He got that. That was just weak. That was desperate, forced.
It was a runner.
Let's go to the next one. They're down 5 at that point. Then 1:39 left. You're only down 4. This is a big shot in the game, and you drive on Brook Lopez, and he just takes the ball away from you. Just took it right out of your hands. Are you that guy or not that guy? The game is teetering.
If I'm not mistaken, is Brook Lopez an NBA player?
Yeah, he's the guy the Lakers dumped last year. They just flat out said, see you later.
He had a game.
Walk out the door.
Yeah, think about it. That's a playoff career high.
Don't give me any of that nonsense. You would have laughed before, on this show 24 hours ago, you would have laughed if I'd say, Brook Lopez is going to outduel your guy in the fourth quarter. You just laugh at that, right? Okay, I'm not finished. It is my turn right now. Let's look at the shot he took. And this is the key one. This is 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. Number 2 takes a shot for the lead. This is just 2 minutes left in the game. Watch this. This is a 3-point shot. You want to talk about a brick? That one was shot so badly it had no chance of lucking in, right? Did you see that? It hit the backboard first.
I saw
you like that? That's clutch city. That's for the lead. That's to regain control of that game. So you're telling me that a guy who took 39 shots in Game 7 at home managed to take only 3 shots. Of course, he missed 23 of those shots.
But Skip, you think
3 shots? Come on. But how can you let him off the hook?
No, I'm not letting
him. You let him off the hook.
Hold on. You said he took.
Lord have mercy.
Hold on. If I'm not mistaken, in Game 7, did he take 39 shots in the fourth quarter, or did he take 39 shots?
He missed 23 shots in that game.
Okay, he missed 16 last night. That's what I mean by volume shooter. But you said something very interesting. You said he only attempted 3 shots last night. He was 0-3. If you don't mind, I don't know if because the people at home don't have the score sheet. Can you tell the people at home how many shots did Giannis Antetokounmpo attempted last night in the fourth?
Who won the game?
Oh, but see, now it's who won the game.
Yeah.
How many points did Giannis score in the fourth quarter?
Here's what's funny about that. The whole Toronto defense, it's the wall that they put up against Giannis.
Okay.
Meanwhile, would you believe they played your guy number 2 just straight up the whole night? Most of the fourth quarter, it was just Chris Middleton one-on-one on number 2.
But then how did
you like that?
How did Brook Lopez block his shot against Chris Middleton?
Well, he just drove it in the middle.
Oh, exactly. So he's getting help.
Okay.
But no, I need you to answer this. How many points did the Greek Freak have in the fourth quarter?
Well,
3.
Let's look at the.
You want
to look at the big stats about the game stats?
Yeah, go ahead. Do that.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter.
Who had the most rebounds in the game? Who dominated the backboards?
Chris Middleton.
Interesting.
Chris Middleton had 6 rebounds. Remember, I said yesterday, the difference is Kawhi, I believe he's the better player, but Greek Freak has the better supporting cast. Well, they just confirmed they validated what I thought yesterday.
Kyle Lowry's a 3-time All-Star. What did he do last night? He scored 30 points.
Night, yeah.
He scored 14 points in the fourth quarter, and you still couldn't pull it off.
Okay, what did Brook
You want to talk about help in the fourth quarter? Who had the most help? Kyle Lowry gave number 2 the most help you could conceivably have.
Brook Lopez had 13.
Way to go.
Mirotic had 7.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton had 5. They only had 3 players to score.
You don't like any of those guys. Marc Gasol.
It doesn't matter whether I like him or not.
What, a 5-time All-Star and a 1-time Defensive Player of the Year?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Marc
I told
Gasol
you
is
yesterday.
long removed from that.
Look at the playoff experience that number 2 has on his side. Danny Green.
All I'm asking you, the thing is see, what you try to do is you try to pin everything on Kawhi. Kawhi didn't play.
Okay, you can't have it both ways.
What do you
if
mean?
You say he's that guy, if you say he's a superstar, all I keep hearing is he's the MVP of the playoffs. Well, if you're the MVP of the playoffs, you can't do that. And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up because you realize that over the last 2 weeks, that's the fourth quarter in which he has disappeared. Do you remember the ones against Philly?
Yeah.
I detailed them again and again for you.
Where's Philly now?
Do you remember? Well, it doesn't matter what happened, but
it doesn't matter now.
Remember game 3, fourth quarter, he goes 0 for 2. He made no field goals in the fourth quarter of that game. Game 4, he missed 4 free throws and had 2 late turnovers. It was just huge, and they still survived him on that one. And in game 6, he took only 1 shot in the fourth quarter. He's not that guy. He's not that mentally tough. He quit on the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, he did.
No, he did.
And he constantly needs rest. He needs 22 games off this year. He took 73 games off the year before.
Guess what? Come to the Lakers, we give him 25 off.
If he was really that guy, he'd just say, hey, we got a 7-point lead going to the fourth. Just let me play. He could just tell Nick Nurse. You think Nick Nurse tells that guy what to do?
Well, if that's the case, why didn't Kevin Durant do that when he had a 31-point lead against the Clippers? Why did he say, we got a 31-point lead, I'm just going to take it over?
Okay, all you have to do, all you can do is your only out is to change the subject.
I'm just asking you.
I want you to defend your guy.
Because
in your opening salvo, you didn't even mention that he didn't score. He didn't score a point. He didn't score a basket.
I was going to let you get to that.
Wow, interesting.
But the thing is, you make it seem like Kawhi is the only superstar player that has played bad in the fourth quarter and his team has lost. So Michael Jordan played great every fourth quarter. Kobe, LeBron.
Please don't put this guy in those
you don't skip. Just because you make a comparison doesn't mean you're saying he's the same man.
It's blasphemy for you to even put this guy in the same sentence with those guys.
The fact of the matter is,
those guys actually played. They played every game.
Did they play great every game in the fourth quarter?
No, they did not.
Okay,
but they played great a whole lot more than this guy ever thought about playing.
Skip, he's only in his 8th year.
Eighth? That's a long time.
What year was Michael in before he won his first title?
I don't know. Why are we comparing this guy?
It's not a comparison.
We're going to get struck by lightning if you keep talking. I'm serious. We're going to get struck.
One of
these days, that ceiling's just going to open up. And it is raining outside right now, so we got potential where God could say, well, it was raining anyway, so I just went ahead and said. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get you to move past your bias of Kawhi. I don't have any bias. I'm just telling you, this is who this guy is.
Skip, but you keep telling me he was terrible.
Yeah.
Giannis scored 3 points, took 3 shots also.
Okay, but again, he played better overall than this guy did. His team won the game.
Yes,
what are you telling me?
So in other words, as long as your team win, you can play bad, and we're going to discount that. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Because I just need to know that moving forward.
Your guy has the better supporting cast.
No, he
It's
does
far
not.
more experienced. Well, Danny Green's played 124 playoff games. Serge Ibaka's played 121 playoff games. You've got it all.
Skip,
You're the better team.
Skip, just because you're on teams that makes the playoffs, that doesn't mean that you're an outstanding player.
Yeah.
You try to do that. What you're trying to equate with Danny Green was on those Spurs teams. Really, Skip? Really?
Well, what about it?
That's what I'm saying. What about it?
Well,
that guy was the MVP of the finals.
Danny Green in 2013 set the NBA record for three-point shots made in a play in the finals.
And took the L.
Well, it wasn't his fault.
But hold on. You said Greg Popovich got upset at him because
it wasn't his fault for the whole series.
No.
It was his fault for that flashpoint moment. He just blocked out LeBron.
But with all that playoff experience, how could he not do that? Oh, you see?
What are you talking
about? No, but you try to equate. Serge Ibaka played this.
Okay, but what does it matter? In the end, your guy that you said is better than the Greek Freak, best two-way player in basketball.
Yes.
It's his time. It's time for him just to take over. Again, he had a 7-point lead going to the fourth. You got to get that one home.
Skip, come on. There's 12 minutes to go. He took a 2.5-minute break, and when he comes in, he's down. He's only up 2.
And you know what? What really just galls me is now the refs are protecting him like crazy because they're all swept up into he's the new MVP, he's the new it player. There's no LeBron, so now we have a poor man's LeBron James. We do. He's a poor man's LeBron.
So let me ask you a question.
And what we got to look at is,
free
do
throws.
you remember what happened at the end of the first half? Do you remember this one? Can we see this play? Thank you very much. At the end of the first half.
What
Look at
happened?
this. He just crashes over Greek Freak's back. Did you see that? It was the most blatant over the back you'll ever see. Here he is. Oh, he just crushed him. He about tackled him. There is no call on that play. No call. And it shows you
basketball.
number 2 gets more respect than Greek Freak does.
You said it's playoff basketball. You say you play through that. That's what you tell me all the time.
It's playoff football now? Is that what we're playing?
I'm just going to what you tell me.
How do you get away with that?
Skip.
It's because he's overprotected.
No, he's not overprotected.
Yeah, they sympathize with him.
But see, what you're trying to do is that you're saying Giannis, his team won. But Giannis didn't play particularly well.
Okay.
He didn't shoot 50%.
All right. But in the end, it's about this. This is the guy you said's better than Giannis. So why are we even talking about Giannis?
Skip,
I'm just throwing your argument back at you. You said it yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And I still believe that today.
All right.
But as I also said, I believe Giannis' supporting cast is better than Kawhi's.
And what I'm saying is the whole Toronto defense is geared to stop Freak. We've got to keep him out of the paint.
So who you think Milwaukee's defense is geared to stop?
Not him. I'm serious. I watched it very closely. Go look. Go watch the tape. Go after the show. Go look at it. And tell me that he got double teamed because he doesn't get double teamed.
I'm just going to go by what Brook Lopez says. I'm going to go by what Giannis said. I'm going to go by what Chris Middleton says. This says we did a great job of getting hands and helping on Kawhi. Now, I'm just going by now. If it's a lie, they told it.
Did they try to take the ball out of his hands? No. They didn't. Go look. It's just Chris Middleton's just on him.
They didn't try to take the ball out of Giannis' hand. They just built a fort into the paint so he couldn't get there, even though he still got there. They turned Kawhi into a volume shooter. Kawhi, I mean, when have we ever seen Kawhi shoot?
Volume shooter, he shot 3 times in the fourth quarter.
Skip, volume means accumulation of total, not just the fourth quarter.
I only care about what happens in the fourth quarter of a game you're leading in.
Oh, my goodness. So what about Giannis' 3 points?
Okay. He wasn't needed.
Oh, now he wasn't needed. The MVP wasn't needed.
Okay, but what do you say? You're saying the other guy's better. What does it matter what Giannis did? All I care is about your guy. I'm just saying, what's your argument? How can you defend your argument?
My argument is Kawhi is a better player, I believe, than Giannis.
Not when it
Giannis
counts.
has a better supporting cast than Kawhi. I don't know how I can make it any clearer.
Who's better on the supporting cast? Help me out.
There's a reason why the Bucks have the number one record in all of basketball.
They have one guy who made one All-Star game.
So?
One. Chris Middleton this year made the All-Star game.
What about Brogdon? Yeah. Who was better than Brogdon off the bench yesterday? Where's Van Fleet been? Where's Serge Ibaka? You telling me about all these playoff games that Serge got?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what about him?
Well, he played big in other games.
I'm talking about
This is the one where after all the acclaim, all the idolatry, did you see that clutch shot he made? Yeah, clutch. It bounced around the rim 4 times and accidentally fell in. So the whole team, after they heard 48 hours of this. Actually, they got, what did they get, 3 days rest? Yeah, almost 3 days. And so the whole team is saying, okay, he's our magic man. Do it. You're the miracle maker.
Stop it, Skip.
Make a miracle.
Stop
and
it.
he made no miracle. He couldn't even make one basket in the fourth quarter. Are you kidding me?
Giannis made one.
And I just showed you 3 games against Philly where he disappeared in the fourth quarter.
And where is Philly?
Wow.
He disappeared in the game 7 in the fourth quarter too, didn't he, Skip?
Well, he hit a lucky shot.
Ain't no lucky, don't do that.
Well, you know.
No, it wasn't no
lucky
luck
shot
skills.
anyway. Yeah. And then I got to say this about the Lakers. How could, and this is another one, this is on Magic, I got to say, Brook Lopez is pretty good. He's not going to, he'll have some games where he'll score 0 points.
Yes.
But you can't let him go. And there was the report that said the coaching staff pushed back on that one and said, you cannot let him walk.
Right.
We got to re-sign him. Sure. Now, he came with his Nets deal for 1 year, so he's making $22 million, but it had run out.
Right.
So you could re-sign him because Milwaukee signed Brook Lopez, who starred last night, for a grand total of $3.4 million this year.
Yes.
3.4. That's bargain basement.
And plus, he's what LeBron needs. He's a spacer.
Yep.
He can hit the 3. He's not a big that just clogs up the paint. He can most of the time he's around the 3-point line, Skip. He's not a guy that they're dumping the ball down to him. Now, if they get him in a pick and roll situation, he had Kyle Lowry.
What did I tell you all through last season, Lonzo's rookie season? Remember, Lonzo led the Lakers in rebounding almost to the bitter end, to the very end, because Brook Lopez does not rebound.
No, he's not a
okay? And finally, Julius Randle at the very end of the year passed Lonzo for the leading rebounder on the Lakers. There you go.
Last night. But the guys, I mean, look at Mirotic gave him 13 big points. Ilasovic came out and played well in the fourth quarter. That's what, Skip, look, if the stars, let's just say for the sake of argument, the stars get you a push. Kawhi and Giannis play to a standstill.
Yep.
Now we need these auxiliary players.
Yep.
What are they going to do? And Milwaukee's played better than Toronto's last night. We'll see what happens, Friday night.
Well, you got
Tomorrow
Milwaukee
night,
anyway.
Milwaukee.
Huh?
You say number 2's the best player, but you got Milwaukee.
What does that got to do with it?
No, I don't get it, but whatever.
Well, you say KD's the best player, but they're looking just fine without him. What are you saying?
I'm just saying he's the best player on the
I can't tell.
Yeah.
Tell that to Steph Curry.
Well, we've already talked about
Tell
that.
that to Steph.
We're about to talk about it
us.
again because
Maybe
they're
that's not the
saying,
case.
watch what we can do without him.
Yeah.
He's not our world.
The best player? You shouldn't be able to do this without the best player in the world. Where else can you do that?
Well, I already told you, I explained that we're going to do this in the next
We are
block.
gonna
FC Barcelona can't do this without Messi.
Before we
I
get
have
to
no
that
idea what you're
game,
talking
that matchup, you know a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Zion. Could he actually go back to school? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
The Pelicans got the top pick in the NBA draft on Tuesday, but that doesn't guarantee Zion Williamson will be playing in New Orleans. Zion is expected to be the number 1 pick, but ESPN reports that people around the NBA are talking about whether he'll threaten to go back to Duke. He can do that because he hasn't hired an agent yet, but his stepfather said this morning that Zion is excited about going to New Orleans, and returning to Duke is, quote, not something that we have even considered. So, Shannon, could you see Zion going back to school?
No, I don't. Because the thing is, Skip, there's the ping pong ball, even if he went back, first of all, you can't. If Zion hadn't signed with an agent, Skip, he had gone, let's just say for the sake of argument, he's going to go 13th or something.
Sure.
How do you improve your draft stock over being the number 1 overall pick? And the risk versus the reward. Some shoe company is about to hand this young man, here you go, son, $100 million.
Whew.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn that down to go back and play for Duke for free. Well, not really free, but you know what I'm talking about, Skip. Why? With the money that you see with DeAndre Ayton, so he'll probably get 10, 15% increase over what Ayton got last year. Dude about to get 35, 40 million guaranteed plus another 100 million from a shoe deal. Why would I even think about going back to Duke? And then again, Skip, there is no guarantee that if he went back, that he could get the Knicks would be in position to get him, or the Lakers, or the Celtics, or he get an opportunity to go to some team that he really wants to play for. His father said, I call him his father because I guess he's been there long enough, he's raised it. My grandfather used to tell me, son, you eat my food, you live in my roof, you my kid, you my son. So his dad said he's very happy to be in New Orleans.
Yep.
Now, maybe, I mean, what's he supposed to say? Hell no, we hate it here? Saying all the right things. But I do not see this as even a remote possibility. Why in the hell would I go back to Duke? Now, Skip, I love college. Love college, had a great time. You know, never in your life again you would have that much fun as the 4 years I had in college. Okay, 4 years in a semester, a quarter system back then. Never had that much fun again, Skip. Never, ever.
You
But
must not have gone to class.
You needed extra time? Or?
What? I had with the class. Skip, I stayed in class. You know me, Skip. Front of the classroom. Front of the class. Calling on me.
Front row?
Teachers calling on me left and right. Mr. Sharpe, do you know the answer? I sure do. But he doesn't. But that's not here nor there, Skip. Why would he go back to Duke and turn down a $100 million sneaker deal and probably another $40 million guaranteed from the Pelicans? Because what? To hope that the Knicks are terrible again and be in position to draft him? Hope the Lakers are terrible again? That's not going to happen. Braun won't let that happen on his watch. No. So this makes no sense to me. I mean, we're talking about it, but I don't even see this in the realm of probability.
And I do see it as a viable, credible threat because just a few days ago, Zion told Slam Magazine, and I'm going to read the quote. He said, Zion said, I mean this 100% when I say it. If I could come back for a second year, meaning at Duke, and play, I would. Being at Duke was a dream come true for me. It was the best year of my life, to your point that you just made. And he continues, Zion, unfortunately, that's not the reality we live in. So he's saying in his heart of hearts, he would love to go back and play again.
Yes.
He missed a chunk of it when his shoe blew up and his foot blew up or whatever
it was 2
happened.
weeks.
Yeah. And yet, remember what I was saying, hey, young man, just shut it down.
Yes.
And nope, he said, I want to be there for my guys, right? I want to play. And he came back and played and risked that much.
Yeah.
So is it a viable, is it a potential threat? Sure, it's a potential threat.
But
depending on what's in his heart now about New Orleans. What's in your heart about New Orleans is you say it's the wrong place to be. It's the smallest market in the NBA.
Yeah, but Skip,
right?
But how? I mean, look, we've seen this before. We saw Dominique didn't want to go to the Jazz. He goes back. We don't. Danny Ferry didn't want to play. He went overseas.
He went to Italy.
Yeah,
okay, this is more viable because you don't have to go to China or Europe.
Right.
You just say, I can go back to where I really loved it.
To play for free.
Yeah. Well,
the whole purpose, Skip.
You say for free, but you don't think there are deals being made everywhere?
Hold on, Skip. You know, when we say play for, come on, Skip. We can't put the NCAA and Duke on blast like that. But let's just say it.
Okay, here's the point of this.
Yeah.
This young man now has the most power of any young man ever approaching an NBA draft.
Yes.
Even more than LeBron had, because if LeBron wanted to force his way here or there, what's his option? What's he going to say? Is he going to go to China at age 18? Is he going to do big baller brand and go to Lithuania?
It was ideal for LeBron because his hometown team.
It was perfect.
So
I agree.
Maybe if Atlanta,
okay.
Atlanta had got the #1 pick. I believe Atlanta or the Knicks.
Okay.
He's happy.
Okay.
He's doing cartwheels.
It seemed like, but I don't have any way to prove this. It looked like just looking at his eyes and his countenance that he got his heart set on going to the Big Apple.
Yes.
You know, he wanted to play the Palace in New York.
Because everybody
we all hyped it up.
They make it seem like it was like it was the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We knew from day one, from the moment the season ended, the Cardinals had the #1 pick.
Okay.
The Knicks never had the #1 pick. They had a 14% chance of getting that.
I got it. But is there potential here for him to power play his way into a trade to, let's say, the Knicks? Sure there is. You'd need a viable threat. You need to say, I'll just go back to Duke then. If you're going to push me to the wall, I'll just go back and play for Duke for a year. Is it credible? I think it is credible. Does he seem like a kid with high character? He does, where his principles would be so strong where he'd say,
So you try to tell the man to pull an Elway or Eli.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought those up because people do need to remember that way back in your sport, that there is real big precedence for this because just for those who forgot, your quarterback that you won 2 Super Bowls with, his father just said, you're not going to play for the Baltimore Colts. They're in Baltimore
at the time.
Because Frank Cush was the head coach and he was a tyrant of a taskmaster. And remember, John's father was a coach, Jack, and he just said, no, you're not going to play for that man. The weird part about it was that man lasted only 1 more year, and then they only lasted 1 more year, and they went to Indy.
Right.
So John Elway effectively could have been Peyton before Peyton in Indianapolis.
Correct.
If he'd just gone ahead and bitten the bullet and done.
No way.
Okay, right? So they just say, no, we're not going to do that, and they force the trade, and it comes back that they get Chris Hinton, and they got that Ron
Traded
Salt.
Mark Herman.
Yeah, and Mark Herman is a backup quarterback, but they got 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen back, so not bad. But then the Eli deal in 2004, and I don't know, Archie, the father, has said again and again, I didn't have anything to do with this. It was Tom Condon, but it was mostly my son just wanted to play in New York.
Right.
And he thought it was a better fit with the Giants than it would have been for him with San Diego.
Let's just put it like this. Archie and A.J. Smith did not get along.
Okay.
That was very...
Whatever happened, it fell completely apart.
Yes.
And yet Eli, to his credit, he just said, I'm not going there.
Right.
And I didn't see what was wrong with I love San Diego. I mean,
Right.
it's a great place to live.
I think it had a lot to do with he didn't want his 2 sons in the AFC.
Okay, you could certainly make that case. So they force a trade, and they trade 1 to the 4th pick, and they get Phillip Rivers. That's not a bad trade-off, right? And then they get Nate Kading, who became a Pro Bowl kicker, and they get our guy Sean Merriman. Okay, all right.
Who's the defensive rookie of the year and
so
the all-pro player.
That's a pretty
good deal, yeah.
right? And especially as you look back on the careers, even though Eli gave you 2 magical moments, right?
Yeah.
2 moments, but he's given you a lot of misery too, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Phillip Rivers just keeps on keeping on at a pretty high level, but he's never given you any magic moments.
Right.
But whatever, they pulled it off in your league, and your league is a tough league to pull something off in.
Right.
So could you do this if you really cared about it? Again, I told you yesterday, I don't have any issue with I like New Orleans. I love the city, and I think that they could turn the basketball team into the football team's fervor and emotion and love.
But I need you to help me to understand, why would he even think about this if it's such a great place to play? Because you want Anthony Davis to stay.
Yeah.
So why would Zion even broach the subject of going somewhere else?
Well, I don't want Anthony Davis to stay. I just think he would want to. He should want to.
But you say Zion could possibly be contemplating going back to school.
Okay, I'm just saying there's a way out of this if you want.
But why should there be a way? Why should there
be
be a way if New Orleans is such a great place to be?
I agree with that. I'm just saying this is the one kid who's got a way out of this. Usually you just don't. It's just too hard to force your way out. But he's got real power.
Yeah.
Right?
He does, but what I'm trying to get you to help me understand, New Orleans is this up-and-coming team.
Yep.
This is a great place to be. Why would that even cross his mind?
Well, maybe it hasn't, because according to his stepfather on a Baton Rouge radio station, it hasn't crossed his mind. That he said, we're looking forward to getting down there and getting settled.
Excited.
Okay? They're excited. So I agree. I'm just saying there is a viable option because he does love Duke.
2 years.
I don't think the kid would be miserable one more year at Duke. I don't. Would it be a risk? Sure it would. Yeah, we get that.
Normally people don't take a $150 million risk to play for a couple of $100,000 or whatever. They give him a pat on the back.
Okay.
You are not willing to assume those risks.
I saw Sam Bradford go back to University of Oklahoma to say, let's right the wrong and let's go win this thing. And it paid off for him. They didn't win. They fell apart, as you could predict, because it never seems to work better the second time around.
Or we see guys come back, Skip, for the Heisman Trophy, win it 1 year, never win it the second year, or they finish second, says, I want to come back, and they never get the fairy tale.
Sam Bradford survived, and he got $50 million guaranteed as the first overall pick.
Yeah.
So it worked out for him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it worked out.
See, I don't think Sam Bradford was looking at it like, I don't want to go play with this team.
No, he wasn't. He just wanted to go stay with his. But there was a lot of Zion going on where I love my school. I want to be true to my school. He grew up in Oklahoma City. He wanted to go win a national championship. Yes. No, it didn't work out.
That's asking an awful lot, Skip. Especially, and even when Dominique did what he did, I mean, back in '82, and when Danny Ferry did what he did, I think that was '86. Skip, the money wasn't like it is now. This kid is about to be the biggest endorsee as a rookie since LeBron James.
All right.
$100 million.
Okay.
Off the top.
All right. I got it.
To go back to Duke, Skip, I love Duke. But trust me, what's he going back to play? Because Zion Williamson is farther away from his degree than when he went. We know Zion went to Duke to stay eligible to play basketball and go to the NBA. And had he not been forced to go to Duke, he'd went straight to the NBA. But those are the rules.
All right.
So what would he go back for? What did he hope to accomplish? The play that says, I don't want to go to New Orleans and forego $150 million? Nah.
You would just have to play chicken with David Griffin and just say, hey, if you don't trade me, I'm going back. And if you got pushed to the wall, you just have to go back.
2 to 3 years after he signs that first mega rookie deal, he'll be up out of there.
Okay, well, that's possible. But I'm also going to point this out. Everybody keeps saying it's the smallest media market in the NBA. Well, Oklahoma City is the third smallest, and they went to the NBA Finals. And
hold on, whoa.
Yeah.
Who they have? You told me they had, you got to tell the people at home they had a 7-foot monster. And wonder how close they came since he been
they had
gone.
a 6'3" monster, a ball-hogging monster, too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He ate the basketball on occasion. They also had this guy named James Harden. I don't know what happened to him. He wound up in Houston.
The same thing that happened to him
Okay, that's true. But right now we're watching Milwaukee, and it looks like they got a real good chance to be in the NBA Finals, and they're the 4th smallest media market. And San Antonio's the 5th smallest media market, and they went to a whole lot of finals.
The only guy that I can remember that did this, that stayed in free agency as we know it, is Tim Duncan. Karl Malone staying in Utah wasn't the same because free agency wasn't like it is. Tim Duncan legitimately had a chance to leave.
He almost went to Orlando.
Right.
He just almost. It was real close.
So he's the when we say superstar franchise, Skip, he's the only guy that I can recall. Now, maybe we can go back and say it was somebody else.
Yeah.
But normally, even Kareem did this in the 70s, Skip.
He did. Yeah. He forced his way out of Milwaukee. Yeah.
It would be in the best interest of all parties.
Yeah.
Shaq, LeBron. It normally, when the guys, they get to that point, they want to go to a bigger market. That's just the way it is.
And one last quick point.
Sure.
It is intriguing to me that Zion's mom and stepfather, and as you point out, he's really his father
Yeah,
now.
you did all that man food.
They're
That's your
just
dad.
running the show, man. And again, they're juggling. Should we go with LeBron or Jay-Z? Jay-Z or LeBron, because it's Rock versus
Clutch.
Clutch.
So weird.
And
Go to a Clutch.
Okay. Clutch.
You want to be like LeBron, right?
Okay. Well, I'm sure they're saying, how little will you take versus how little will you take? And maybe they're saying, we got this. But usually,
No, you don't got this.
You need some
Yeah.
some other wisdom. You need some other input.
Involved.
If you want to do it like LeBron, he signed with an agent.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 years, gave his guys an opportunity to learn the business.
Yeah.
They studied up under the agent.
Yeah.
They went to school, got their knowledge,
They did.
and then you want to do your thing.
That's true.
Look, handling $50, $100 is one thing.
I know, I agree.
Handling $100 million,
Yeah.
when they got people, see, those people got people that went to school to do that.
That is correct.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's very interesting, if not concerning. We've gotten this deep in the process, and they still haven't signed with anybody. Wow.
they're just leaving.
And I don't
their
believe
options
Rich would have a problem like, okay, running stuff by him, because I believe the Rich wants the best for the kid. And at the end of the day, yeah, you can hire an agent, but you got final say. The agent can say, well, I want to do this. Well, what about going, no, I want to go there. Clutch it is, baby.
Oh, you just
We doing big things. We doing big things over here at Clutch.
You are a member of Clutch.
I am no
You're
member
in
of
the
Clutch.
hierarchy.
salary from them?
I ain't no.
That's a good question, Jenny. How much do you get?
yeah.
You know what?
Like,
Let me
what are you getting?
call Rich.
Okay.
No mercy.
Next up, the Warriors will try to take a commanding 2-0 lead against the Blazers tonight. Portland saw a whole lot of Steph Curry in Game 1. He scored 36 points with 9 three-pointers in the blowout win. Golden State will likely be without Kevin Durant again, but they're still favored by 7.5. So, Shannon, who you got who wins Game 2?
The Warriors. I expect the Blazers to play better, Skip. I don't believe they'll be as sloppy with the ball. I don't believe they'll shoot as poorly as they did from the field. But, man, Steph, they don't let Steph catch fire. Skip, you say you don't like him, but he done started hot dogging again.
Yep.
And you know what happens when he start hot dogging.
Front running, globe trotting.
Something.
Yep, he's doing it all.
And so once
Yep.
he has that taste, these are prideful young men. And the greater the player, the more pride they have. He hears what everybody says.
Yep.
Oh, KD team. KD's the best player. Yada, yada, yada. They can't win without KD. Bull jive.
Yep.
We won before KD. Now you done let Clay, he done caught a rhythm. Clay's catching the ball. He's shooting off 1 foot now.
Yep.
He hot the horsing around with you, Blazers.
He is horsing around. He's clowning you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just holding the poles. He Where did this Clay come from? I like it. I like it. Draymond being Draymond. Look, 69 points on 13 threes in the last 6 quarters.
Yeah.
Skip, what do you think is going to happen? If you let you let Steph hit 9 threes, how many times you think a team's going to beat them? Probably.
Unless Damian hits 9.
Exactly. And that's what needs to happen. In order for the Blazers, Dame and CJ, they got to be great every single game. This situation where one plays good and the other one not so well and they win, that can't. You're not beating that team like that. Your best players must be at their very best when you play them. If not, you're going to get beat. And I said this before. I believe if they win game 2, which I believe they will, the earliest you're going to see KD is game 4. They're going to give him as much rest as you possibly can because you don't want that thing to linger and come back out because you might need him. I believe they're going to face Milwaukee. It would be tough to beat Milwaukee without KD. I believe they could beat the Blazers without KD.
You are probably right about that, which means that if you're correct about he won't come back until game 4, then Portland's only hope is to go home and win game 3 to make it a series at all. Because now to your issue you raised in our previous segment, I said yesterday that Portland's only hope is if Kevin Durant does come back. That's the only hope, because now that I've heard that he is officially declared out tonight, I thought he might Willis Reed it and come back out at the last second. Now that I've heard that, I say Portland has no hope tonight. I believe this will be a second straight blowout at Oracle.
Wow.
Steph and Clay are having too much fun and scoring too many points without Kevin Durant.
Too easy.
It's just too easy. And to me, everything has changed for the better for those two, because all of a sudden they have flipped the switch to go back to the 73-9 record-setting Golden State Warriors, the move yourself and move the ball Warriors, the cut off picks and shoot at will Warriors. Their green lights are the greenest they've been since 73-9, where they are shooting without hesitation. Because they don't have to look over their shoulder and think, does Kevin want the ball?
Yeah, when's the last time he shot a shot?
Is
I don't
it
want
his
to get
turn?
him upset.
Is it his turn? And now we see no more clear aside and let Kevin go dribble, ISO until he rises up over 2 defenders and makes another 15-foot jump shot. And I think they got sick and tired of hearing, we'll go as far as Kevin will take us.
Of course.
And so now it's like we see pure joy on the basketball court because they are free of Kevin. They say all the right things. Every time either one of those gets an opportunity in a postgame or a off-day interview, they make sure they say, we can't wait until Kevin comes back. We miss Kevin. They're saying all the right things because they know they owe him a lot, because the last 2 years he was the finals MVP. But they also know that this was going the wrong direction until he went down. And all of a sudden, the ball is moving again and hearts are pounding again at Oracle. It feels like the good old days.
Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument, I think you and I both agree that Kevin Durant is going to leave. He leaves, and this Warriors team win a title next year without Kevin Durant. We keep talking about Kevin Durant passing LeBron. Kevin Durant won't pass Steph Curry because Steph would have won twice without you. You would have won nothing without him. So although you were finals MVP, Steph Curry is showing, I won a title before and after KD arrived in the Bay.
Okay. All right. That would be huge momentum incentive. I would agree.
Don't think Steph Curry hadn't laid his head on his pillow at night when he over there talking to Aisha after he mad about what she said on the red table with her. But that's not here nor there. Like,
You think he took her to task over that?
You don't think?
Yeah. I mean, look, I love them as a couple. But there's some things you say to your homegirls, and there's some things you keep out of public consumption.
She's done this before.
Yeah. I'm like, hey.
She is her own woman.
I'll be laid on that like, hey, baby, you trying to get somebody to slide in your DMs? Huh? Well, how about this here? I'm going to slide this to your DM. We divorced. I'll slide that in your DM.
Ooh.
Don't put me on blast like that.
Okay.
I love you. I provide everything, all these homes.
Wait, I might have to change my pick tonight. He's
What?
got issues.
No,
at
he
home.
he already handled
drama
that.
are we
You know,
dealing
he
with?
already done handled that. Aisha's already apologized. Said, baby, I didn't mean it like that.
Okay.
But I know, sometimes things get lost in translation. But to say that guys not hollering at me and these hoochies are getting all this love, and no, don't do that. Don't put your man on blast like that.
Okay.
But with that standing,
Sure.
Steph Curry lays his head down that pillow
Yep.
and thinking, man, if I win one of these things without old KD.
I would agree with that.
Ooh-wee.
So now, what's the one danger for the Steph Clay Warriors? More than ever, you live and die by the three.
Yes.
So if they happen to have a dual cold night, they're going to be in some trouble.
It's over.
Okay?
It's over.
Right?
Because that's what KD gives you.
Okay.
They can have cold nights,
Yep.
and that guy don't need to hit no threes to go get you 30.
So they have to keep pumping. They have to keep making a high volume of three-point
Well, are you going? Is Enes Kanter and Aminu, are they going to stand in the lane when Steph and Clay are launching those threes? Because if you're going to leave them uncontested, they'll knock them down.
So are they going to have to show more, as they say?
Yes.
The big's going to have to go out and show a little
Yes.
bit just to show Steph he can't just get that open? Sure. Are they going to switch Harkless onto Steph to start the game because he's 6'9", and when he guarded him the other night, Steph was 0 for 3? Are they going to try that? Probably they will
Yes.
try that tonight. But in the end, Portland goes as its two guards go.
Absolutely.
And you can't convince me at this moment that they're any more than a poor man's Steph and Clay. They're poor man's.
But here's the
both of
thing,
them.
Skip. I believe they're the second best backcourt in the NBA.
Yep.
But the number one backcourt is so far ahead of them, it's the Usain Bolt. The second fastest man in the world is blazing. Dame and CJ are unbelievable, but Steph and Clay are on another level.
Okay. So they are by far the second best.
Yes.
That's what they look like. It looked like game one, the stage was too big for both of them.
Right.
They shrank on that stage. And Dame alone had 7 turnovers and the team had 21. You can't do that. It'll be over fast if you start down that trail again.
Well, Skip, it's like being Miss America, the first runner-up.
Yeah.
You still beautiful. You just didn't win the crown.
Yep.
Dame and CJ are still great, but the best backcourt, that crown, it resides up in the Bay.
Yeah. So now, to me, Portland's only hope, they're going to get blown out tonight. They got to go home and win game 3. And if they could claw out a game 3 somehow with no KD, and then hope he comes back for game 4.
So you want KD to mess up the dish. You want him to come back and mess it up.
It's going to have a chemical reaction, and it could be a bad one, but whatever it is, it's going to be a big chemical reaction when he steps back into the middle of that flow on offense, and it might not flow
Changes
around
again.
him. It's hard to re-ingratiate him into the rhythm of that offense.
Well, Skip, he might be down for a minute because you know he ain't really got no calf, so that injury might be all the way up to the back of his hamstring, quad, all that.
Is it possible it's worse than we know? I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
See, you seen little old calves?
Yeah, no, yeah.
They're doing just fine. The Warriors have won the last 7 playoff games against the Blazers. 7 straight. I mean,
Ladies, y'all need to break that
some
streak.
point,
Not
that's,
tonight because I want to be right.
Yeah.
you want to be right?
Yeah, I want to be right
I've
tonight.
never heard that around here from either of you guys. How about this? I'm not so sure Odell is right about this one. He's already causing problems in Cleveland. We'll discuss what he's been up to next.
No mercy.
Odell Beckham Jr.'s moments in Cleveland have been very brief so far. He was at the first day of OTAs on Tuesday, but then did not show up yesterday. Beckham's only other appearance in Cleveland was back in April for his intro press conference. Despite all this, Freddie Kitchens seems all right with Beckham not being there. Take a listen.
I've never disputed the fact that it's not important for him to be here, but it's also important for him to be mentally ready to be here. All right, so I'm not giving him an out by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody here knows the conversations that Odell and I have. So I'm just saying it's better for him to be here when he can present his best self. Emotionally, physically, everything. And Odell Beckham's going to be here in the fall, and he's going to be a good football player in the fall, just like he has been. We just need to incorporate it into a team setting now and move forward with the Cleveland Browns, and that's what we're going to become.
And then there's this. Olivier Vernon, who is now in Cleveland and was with Odell in New York, said, he gets a bad rap. If you never met the guy, don't know the guy, just keep your mouth shut. I played with the guy 3 years, now going on my 4th year. He's a great teammate, great person. Shannon, big deal or no big deal that Odell only went to 1 day of Browns OTAs?
It would have been no deal, but Odell made it a big deal by going there for 1 day and leaving. Skip, what Freddie Kitchens said is very, very disturbing. We need a guy to be mentally ready to be here. Be here and present his best self. We know Odell's going to be here this fall. Yeah, no jive. Of course he's going to be there. He has no choice but to be there. Skip, Odell hasn't gotten over the fact that the Giants shipped his butt out of there.
They did.
This would be like Denzel, an A-list movie, doing Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
That's how Odell sees himself. I'm an A-list, but I'm in a C-list movie. He sees him, Skip, you watch on Instagram, he's in Paris, he's at the Met Gala. Guys at the Met Gala don't do Cleveland.
He's not out there at Cleveland. Where is Cleveland?
Out there.
Yeah, he's at Paris, he's touring with Drake, he's at this or that. No place in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And for him, my thing is, why you even show up? If you were only going to stay a day for a 3-day, they already know. They used to joke with me, Skip, hey, Sharpe, you going to do a drive-by the OTAs? They know, hey, no, I'm not going to even tease you like that. No, I'm not coming. Odell, why? Olivier Vernon, shut up. I know what you say, but Skip, I got these glasses now. I'm like 2015. I see better than I hear. I know they keep telling me Odell's a leader. Odell's a great guy. But I know what I see. I know the behavior that I see. So how great a guy was he when he went down to Miami to get ready for that game that's going to be at Lambeau Field? How great was the guy when he on the kicking net, when he hitting the kicking net and throwing tantrums on the sideline when he doesn't catch passes? How great a guy was he? So now we can't even have an opinion about nobody, Skip, because we ain't met him face to face. Good, because I probably want to tell him a thing or two. He needs to straighten his act up. That's what he needs to do. Skip, this is ridiculous, Odell. Unlike Zion, you don't have options. You can't go back into the draft and do this thing all over again. You're not going back to New York. You're in Cleveland now. And unfortunately, you view New York as your home, but as Dorothy said in The Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home. You're close to Kansas, bro. You're in Cleveland. You better embrace it. It's not going to get any better, Skip. What's he trying to do? Kick the can down the road? Because guess what? You're going to end up at the same destination. You're a Cleveland Brown. You're going to play for the Cleveland Browns for the very foreseeable future.
I strongly agree with everything you just said. And I must say that Freddie Kitchens is growing on me by the interview because I love to listen to him because he is really open-hearted about this. He just lets you know what's really going on in his head and his heart. But to your point, what he said was highly disturbing about Odell Beckham Jr. because he's indicating he's still got some psychological issues to work through. He's maybe fighting through a little depression over the fact that he got dumped in New York and shipped out to Cleveland, out there in Cleveland. And he's got to work through that. But I fully expect him to be here in the fall. Well, there's this thing in the summer called camp. I don't know. Is he going to show up for all of camp, a little of camp? One exhibition game? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he can't work through that yet. And I loved how Freddie just laid it all out. But to your point, he needs to be mentally ready to be. He's not mentally ready. Oh, okay, wow. And then he needs to be able to present his best self when he gets there, like this is his worst self. Yet Odell's been tweeting and posting that this is the happiest he's ever been.
Skip, now, and this is what really concerning. Now we have to incorporate him in a team setting. Dude been playing football for as long as he's been alive. And now we got to incorporate him in a team setting. It's not like he's coming from golf to football. He's always been in a team setting. But now we got to really hone it in and make him focus that we are a team. The very reason that the Giants got his butt up out of New York.
That is
because
correct.
He saw himself outside of the team. So sorry, Olivier Vernon, But y'all in the same place. Y'all will do just fine. Y'all can bounce some ideas off each other.
That is a good point. So Odell recently declared the Cleveland Browns the new Patriots. He tried to walk it back a little bit, but he did say flat out, we are the new Patriots. We're going to be competing for Super Bowl championships in the next multiples in the next 5 years. And my quarterback is the new Brett Favre. He's not becoming, he's already there as the new Brett Favre. He's got next now. That's what Odell said.
That's what he said.
Well, that's putting a big old target on the back of all your teammates. And the report said that all the key Browns showed up for the voluntary OTAs. Yeah. All the rest of them were there, and this guy made a cameo appearance.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. What free agent that you know goes to the Patriots and doesn't show up for OTAs or shows up for one day? Can you imagine a guy showing up for one day and then bouncing?
You better not.
And they, Coach, that's one thing, I tell you what, that's one thing you might say a lot of things about the Patriots. You never have to worry about them whether or not they're mentally ready to be there.
It's true.
Or they have to present their best self. Oh, the moment you see the Patriots, they select you or you sign with them, you put your best self. You already ingratiate yourself because you already know what's at stake here.
If Bill Belichick had said these same things about Randy Moss in OTAs leading to 2007, there'd never been a 2007 for Randy Moss.
Nope.
Sorry. And the point is, the Patriots have always paid. You have to pay a price. You know about paying a price.
Absolutely.
And obviously, you paid the price by yourself.
Yes.
You would keep yourself in supreme shape, but Mike Shanahan knew your coach. You could be counted on to do that after you were an established
But I did
star.
go to the first OTA, Skip, my
I
first year in Baltimore.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay.
You
have to.
Yes.
You have to show them you're all in.
Right.
That you're dedicated to the process of becoming the new Patriots.
Yes.
Okay. And Freddie went on and on about how important that the OTAs are for knowledge, for learning how to compete, for the young players. You got to show them.
Right.
And yet, I don't even know what Odell has to show them yet because he has little to show for what he's done in the NFL so far.
Freddie says you have to show up, and that's what I went to Baltimore for. I needed to show you how I won 2 Super Bowls, how I became the player that I became. Okay, that's what he does. Is that how he eats? Is this how he trains? This how he practices? All those things. They'll show him. Show him how you became the player. Well, we know how you became the selfish player. It happened on a Sunday night.
Yep.
And you saw that you could get celebrity even though you lost the game. We don't normally celebrate guys. Guy hits a half-court shot and then lose the game. We ain't there that 55 times. He made a catch. Remember, they got the brakes beat off them by the Cowboys on that Sunday night.
They did.
Odell probably made $250,000 off of signing that picture. And if I'm a Cowboy fan, I bring him to sign it. And then after he signed, y'all still caught the L.
Yep, that is true. And I'm with you on Olivier Vernon. He has nothing to show for his NFL resume either. He's won no playoff games as a Giant, obviously. And yet
he might have been on that boat in the captain's.
I don't know.
In the captain's
Closer
chair.
at the picture.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've said this for several years now about Odell. I believe he has a good heart. I don't think he's a bad kid, but his priorities are completely out of whack, or they're just whack, period.
Right.
Because he still prioritizes starring over winning.
Yeah.
And in the end, he wants to promote himself as opposed to pay the price to go win a Super Bowl with a new team.
Right.
And in the end, all I know is that when he was presented an opportunity to get ready for a playoff game at Lambeau Field, to your point, he led the tour group to South Beach for a day off. You can't do it. It would be the last thing you would have thought of at that moment.
Skip, if they had the bye week, and the coach says, I'm going to give you guys off until Thursday, go lay off, blow some steam off, get away.
That's different,
But, Skip, not on a Monday and you playing on a Sunday.
And then if he backed it up, put his feet where his mouth was and really come to play at Lambeau, but he dropped 2 big balls in the first quarter and they got blown out.
Skip, you can't wait a week. Because you could have, what you did that Monday, if you had waited 1 week, you'd have been able to do that without the criticism.
He's also had a lot of injuries that we don't. He's missed 16 games over the last 2 years. So has he figured out the strength and conditioning? Has he figured out what to do in the offseason? So he hasn't figured it out yet.
I don't know really how, all these pictures on IG. I want to see him post up at Cleveland. Post up with a Browns helmet on. Were you actually there? Not no imposed.
The fans seem like they're ready. They don't care about his lack of commitment to Cleveland, but I'd like to see a few more.
He's going to show up for game 1. That's all we know, right?
He'll be there in the fall, Skip.
Okay.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll see you in the fall, Skip.
Yeah.
I got to go.
Okay.
Where you
Yeah, I got to go. Got to go to the fall. Hey. Odell, take your time off. I got to get mentally ready to present my best self.
Yes.
Go far.
I don't want to see you on Instagram then. Please. None of that, Shannon.
gotta
That's not
present
how it
my
works
best
around
self.
here. Did number 2 cost the Raptors a win last night? We'll discuss that with Steven Jackson next.
No mercy.
Back to the NBA. The Bucks took game 1 at home last night over the Raptors. The Greek Freak had a big game with 24 points, 14 rebounds, and the Bucks got a career playoff high 29 points from Brook Lopez. On Toronto's side, Kawhi Leonard scored 31, but he only had 2 points in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors were outscored 32-17 in the fourth. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson.
Morning.
Brook Lopez.
With the green
He
and
was
the
feeling
fall
it.
time. Look at it.
Steven, what was the biggest reason for Toronto's loss?
Brook Lopez, the way he played. I mean, if Brook Lopez played like that and Kyle Lowry gets 30 and you don't win, you're in trouble. I understand. I think Kawhi ran out of gas. He was gassed by the third quarter. If you look at the third quarter, he had his hands on his knees. He was breathing hard. He extended a lot of energy in that last series, especially Game 7. I think he'll play different next game, but last night he was gassed, and Milwaukee supporting cast was more solid. They took care of the ball better. They made better plays. They shared the ball better. I think Kawhi has to get away from that I got to do it myself attitude like he had against Philadelphia and pass it to those open guys. Siakam can have a good series. He played well last night. He missed Danny Green a lot. Danny Green can't really get his shot off. So when he's spotted up wide open, you have to get him the ball because that's the only shots he's going to make. Right. Kawhi made a lot of bad plays that night. He wasn't focused. But when you have Kyle Lowry play like that and you lose, that's not a good sign.
Well, I want to give credit to Milwaukee's defense because I thought outside of the first quarter, they played extremely well. They held Toronto to 28% shooting in the second half, and only Kyle Lowry shot 50% or better for the entirety of the ball game. Kawhi is playing a lot of minutes, Skip. He's having to expend an awful lot, but this is what we expect from the superstars. I mean, he averaged 34 points in the regular season, minutes per game. He's up at 38 now, and he's asked to do a lot because you expect your superstars to do a lot. They've turned him into a volume shooter, and it's not easy. And I heard Kobe talking to Allen Iverson. They was like, you think it's easy to get up 30 shots?
Not at all.
You think it's easy to get up 40 shots? It's not easy. It expends a lot of energy, causes you to expend a lot of energy, and he has to exert a lot of energy on the defensive end.
Right.
So they're taxing him, throwing a lot of different bodies at him. Chris Middleton, and then Brook Lopez comes to help, and then Giannis, and then here comes Ilyasova, and all these Mirotic. Also, he got a lot of big bodies, these trees. They're a long team. But old Kawhi, I ain't worried about him. But you know what, Skip? Give me one more second, Stack. He's trying to keep perpetuating this myth that sure enough, Kawhi is playing bad in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter against Philly, he had 50 points in 47 minutes on 55% shooting. Now, I don't know, Stack. I didn't play. You
Can't
played
get too much better than that.
Is that pretty good?
That's
You want me to
pretty good.
start detailing what really happened?
I don't want you to detail nothing. I want you to go ahead.
You tried to do some big overview stat to hide all the deficiencies.
I just want you to go ahead and
'Cause
make
there
your
were
point.
lots of deficiencies going on in fourth quarters.
Oh, yes.
And I've told you again and again, you cannot trust this guy in fourth quarters, big fourth quarters with game on the line. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give you gassed. I just can't. I hear you. I know he's playing minutes. They had 3 days off to get ready for game one. A lot of teams are propelled by winning a game 7. Your energy is so high it just carries you into game 1. But they had it both ways. You could say they were propelled and they got to rest for 3 days. So does he need to take game 2 off because he just needs a
Now,
rest?
stop
game?
it. You know better than taking no games off in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Well, then, to me, if we want to, you brought up Michael Jordan in the same context. Michael Jordan, you couldn't have gotten him to sit for 3 minutes with that game on the line of the fourth quarter, and number 2 did sit for 3 minutes.
So are you telling me Michael played all 48 minutes?
No, but in a game like that, when he smelled blood, if they had a 7-point lead on the road of game 1, he's just looking at Phil Jackson like, again, Michael took himself in and out of games when he felt like it, but he would just say, no, I'm playing. I'm going to play all 12 of this because we're going to get this one home. We're going to, quote, unquote, steal game 1. Because it looked like for 3 quarters, Toronto wasn't just stealing it. They were just flat out winning game 1. And when Siakam bombed the 3 at the third quarter buzzer, I'm just saying, they got this. Here they go. And they got from Kyle Lowry in the fourth quarter, they got 14 points. He made 3 threes just in the fourth quarter. That should be enough help to get you home. But your guy that you say, you declared yesterday, he's better than Giannis. He's the best two-way player in basketball. He's the MVP of the playoffs. He's got to come up big in the fourth quarter, just big enough to get you home with a 7-point lead. It's up to him. Is he not the best player on the floor? That's what you told me. Okay? He can't go 0 for 3. He can't go no baskets in the fourth quarter.
But everybody
it's not good enough.
Skip,
it's not good enough.
Everybody was over except Kyle Lowry. They shot 5 of 22.
Don't
Kyle Lowry made them all.
Okay, but he got help. He got
Where?
Unexpected help, because usually it's Kyle Lowry who comes up small in the fourth quarter. He gave you 14 points. That should be enough. I'm sorry. It's plenty of help.
But see, Giannis was 1 of 3. He had 3 points. But look what Brook Lopez had 13. Mirotic had 7. They got another 5 from Chris Middleton. So now the supporting cast, which I told you yesterday, Skip Bayless, Kawhi is the better of the players. But he does not have the better of the supporting cast. That's fact.
He has the much more experienced supporting cast. He has the much more decorated.
That's all experience is older.
All the all-star teams belong to his side, to number 2's side, because Lowry's been to 3, right? What's Gasol? Is he 5-time All-Star and 1-time Defensive Player of the Year? You don't think this is high experience? Danny Green's played 124 playoff games. Siakam, 121 playoff games. That's huge experience. That's even more than you had, right? I don't think you played in that many playoff games.
Nope.
So you've got it all on your side. That's the team. But
the difference is he didn't play in a whole bunch of them, but he played good in all of them.
Okay.
So what good is a playing in all them games if you ain't doing much but middling around? I'm on the team.
All those guys are looking to number 2 to take us home. And he comes up empty in the fourth quarter. He makes 2 free throws, and he gets blocked twice by Brook Lopez. How can you do that?
Brook Lopez is 7 foot tall.
I got to see him again. It's Brook
Lopez. You know why he got blocked? Because a lot of those same plays that Giannis was getting when he was driving, Giannis was kicking it.
Here we go.
I was forcing a lot of stuff last night.
Whoops.
Yeah, he was forcing a lot of stuff. He had Danny Green. On another shot, he had Danny Green wide open in the corner, and he tried to force it.
No, Danny Green was walking back down.
Try this one.
Look.
Who he going to pass it to?
Throw it to the corner, Siakam in the corner.
Back KCC over there. You making it seem like that's LeBron. Only LeBron know where everybody's stationed at.
Look at this.
He was ready.
Only LeBron know where everybody's stationed at.
I liked it, too.
But Skip.
He just took the ball right out of his hand.
Kawhi made bad plays last night.
He did.
Is that the fatigue?
Fatigue definitely a big part of it.
He played bad. But Brook Lopez had 27 points in 5 games against the Celtics. He had 29 last night. Are we going to anticipate Brook Lopez going to get us?
Not at all. Not at all.
But it happens. You know what happens? Are you going to anticipate Kyle Lowry's going to score 14 in the fourth quarter?
You just said he was an all-star.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we expect that?
Yeah.
Oh, but we don't.
Okay.
Because remember the last 2 years he got swept up out the playoffs. You remember that? Number 1 seed.
Well,
swept.
Brook Lopez makes $3.4 million.
Okay.
He's like bargain basement.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll take a shot with you.
Yeah.
And you got that out of him, okay?
Got that. The playoff career high. How long has he been in the league? And that's the most points he's ever scored in the playoff. He scored 2 more points in 1 game than he scored in 5 games.
But if I got to deal with the tallest guy on the court out there shooting half-court threes, I deal with that.
Exactly.
I deal with that.
Look where he let he thought he was Steph Curry.
Right.
Okay? But if number 2 turned up the heat on them and started line driving in 4 or 5 jump shots, watch Brook Lopez shrink out there at the 3-point line because he was front running.
He don't line drive.
He was like he was Steph Curry last
Yeah,
night.
he was.
Right.
But don't worry about it. Oh, sure enough will be right. He gonna get the hair braided. He get the hair plaited right.
Yeah.
He got the thing loose right now.
I think Coach Bud did a great job too on the game plan they came out with against them. He knew Kawhi. He knows Kawhi well, and he knew Kawhi was gonna try to force a lot of stuff. and they stayed on top of him, made him turn the ball over a lot early.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Playing
That
hard.
defense. But Milwaukee is a long team.
Very
you know
long
what's
team.
funny? They did not try to force the ball out of his hands.
Not at
they
all.
had single defenders on the perimeter, but obviously Brooks going to stay home, or Giannis is going to stay home.
Yeah.
Once you try to
Once he
drive in
turns
the
the
lane,
corner, he's right
there's
there,
gonna be
yeah.
long arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You got something for you.
You got to make the right play, though.
Yeah. But see, wait a minute. Now you want him to make the right play, huh, Skip? Because when LeBron make the right play all the time, if you're that guy, you shoot that shot. The right play. Kawhi says, I got to shoot the shot because Skip tells me I'm a superstar. And superstars shoot.
But we're talking about with the game on the line, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You got to take the shot to get to the free throw line. Am I right?
No, he let that
Get
thing
to
go.
the free throw line.
Trajectory.
You know,
Arc, angle.
one thing I'll give number 2, he's been making his free throws.
Yes.
He did miss 4 in the fourth quarter at Philadelphia, but that's
When?
okay. In game 3, when he missed, this game 4.
Game 4.
Missed 4 in the fourth quarter.
Let y'all feel good, but wanted to make y'all feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, he didn't happen last night.
39. Didn't he drop 41? If I'm not mistaken, that's the third most points ever scored in a playoff series. Behind Kareem's 260, Michael Jordan's 246, and then Kawhi had 243 and O'Brien pulling up with 241.
That's his only game he can play like this, though, against this team. He got to bounce back. He got to bounce back before the big game 2. And Milwaukee was ready for this game 1. They lost that game 1 against Boston. They was really focused on winning this game.
But he better get some help from the supporting cast.
Yes, sir.
Siakam can't go 6 or 20.
Did your researcher, your Sean McVay, your puppet master, did he tell you that in game 3 against Philly that number 2 was 0 for 2 from the field, didn't score a field goal? Did he tell you about game 4 when he missed 4 free throws and had 2 late turnovers? Did he tell you about game 6 when he took only 1 shot in the fourth quarter? I don't know.
He did all that.
That guy?
You know what, Stacks? He did all that. And guess where he playing right now? In the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, but they're going to be out of there quick if he don't start making the right plays. He can't force some shots against
They're
Milwaukee.
not a better team. He can make all the right plays, and Milwaukee winning this series. How about that, Skip Bayless?
Quick turnaround, game 2 tomorrow
you
night.
know, I don't know. You got 2 sides of your mouth that are going. And one side says Milwaukee's going to win easily, and the other side says, but Toronto's got by far the best player.
It is. It's
Hold up. I thought basketball was a team game.
It definitely is.
So, hold on. So are you telling me LeBron James was not the best player when he lost to Golden State? But we're seeing without your guy.
Oh,
you do know. You see, he's not there.
Yeah,
and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are doing just quite well.
Yeah.
So LeBron was supposed to beat KD, Steph, Klay, and Draymond. That's what he was supposed to beat.
Can't do it all.
Stop it.
Can't do it all.
Michael Jordan was a one-man show.
Stop it.
Yep, one-man show.
All I know is he got swept. His first 3 playoff appearances, he got swept
And then
until he got Scottie Pipp.
No.
Pip Stevens.
Scottie Pipp.
Until he got
Good
Scottie
stuff.
Pipp.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. Speaking of wanting to get teammates around you, should the Lakers give up on trying to get Anthony Davis? We'll discuss all of that next.
Nah, don't do that. They got
No mercy.
Anthony Davis reportedly still wants out of New Orleans despite the Pelicans getting the first pick and the chance to draft Zion Williamson. AD rumors to the Lakers have been going on for months, but according to ESPN, the Pelicans are still not interested in trading AD to LA, and the 4th pick in the draft won't be enough to change their mind. Shannon, are you buying that this deal is dead?
No, I'm not buying that the deal is dead, but I do believe they're still upset about how this trade request came about. They believe that they were hoodwinked, bamboozled, that he just sprung this on them, and they feel like that Rich Paul and Clutch played a major role in this. I think what works in the Lakers' favor is that David Griffin, the new general manager, is not as emotionally attached to this situation.
That's true.
He understands that his job is to get the best deal he possibly can, even if it's doing business with the Lakers. Skip, look, I get it. Sometimes you like, if I'm selling a product, I might not like the vendors that I'm selling to, but if they're giving me the best price for what I'm selling, I'm gonna do business with you. Now, Skip, when you're dealing with a talent like this, Skip, did you think the Bucks got equal value for Kareem? No. You're not. When you trade a guy like this, you're not gonna get the value, but you get the best value, the best deal you possibly can. AD's made it abundantly clear. He still wants out. Zion, no Zion. He wants to move on. David Griffin's responsibility is to get the best deal possible and take feelings out of the equation. Because the longer this goes on, the less they're going to be able to get for him. Because at the end of the day, Skip, let me tell you what's going to happen. This is what they better pray happens, is that Kawhi resigns with Toronto. Because if Kawhi does not resign, why would I ever give up the assets that you want for a one-year rental? I wouldn't. I'm not going to. So I feel very comfortable. 75%, we're going to get it.
We as in?
Lakers.
I never know who your we
Lakers.
are.
You know who I'm
have
with.
lots of
Who
we's.
you with?
Yeah, we.
Team clutch.
All the way home.
Clutch all the way,
A
baby.
lot of teams.
Yeah, clutch, unclutch. I'm going to give it a 75% chance that Anthony Davis comes to his senses and stays with the Pelicans.
You must be crazy.
And unites with Zion, and they start to build something pretty special down in New Orleans.
Anthony say, if they build, they won't come because I'm leaving.
Really?
Yep.
And I told you yesterday, if Julius Randle decides to opt out, he has a player option that somebody else could opt in because that slot could open up to $25 or $30 million that you'd have to spend on another free agent. I don't know, would one of the big ones decide, yeah, I'd love to go down to New Orleans.
Really?
And play those
Really?
guys.
That's what a big fat free agent. Like KD, Kyrie.
Maybe.
Jim. Oh, yeah,
Never
right.
know.
Right.
AD, Zion, Drew Holiday. You like Drew Holiday? I love him.
I do too.
AD says, I'm up. Deuces.
Well, that's what you say he says, but let's see what he actually does, because actions do speak. And I think he will come to his senses because now he's got a shrewd operator running the franchise in David Griffin. Yeah. And I think AD will have newfound respect for him that he might not have had for Dell Demps.
David Griffin, Stewie Griffin, Brian Griffin. I'm up out of here.
Are you?
That's what AD say.
Hey, if Stewie's there, I'm
No. He said, I'm out.
That would be
Oh, you said action.
a barrel of laughs.
Hold on, you
man.
said action speak louder than words?
Yeah.
Hey, Jenny, what did that shirt say he had last home game of the season? What did his shirt say?
That's all, folks.
Well, that's all, folks.
It was a cartoon.
Yeah, he said that's all,
It's
folks.
fun to say it like that.
Yeah, it's out. I'm out.
He
22s.
said he doesn't
He
dress
said it
himself.
was the stylist.
Yeah, oh, he don't dress.
Out.
Yes, so what? So now 82? He don't dress himself? Grown man don't dress himself.
Well, that's what he said.
Oh, that's what he said, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you got to look at what you're about to wear.
Shannon Sharpe, things change, and when they change, maybe your whole emotional outlook changes.
I'm
You say,
counting on
"Gee."
it. Skip, I'm counting on them changing.
Yeah.
I'm counting on David Griffin and the Pelicans coming to their senses, realizing that Anthony Davis wants no parts of them.
Okay.
And for their better judgment, the best deal is what we have to offer.
Well, I'm counting on David Griffin to live by the old bromide that you do not trade an asset that valuable within your conference. You just don't do it.
Oh,
okay.
No, that's what, see, I
That's
know what you
why
mean.
number 2 is in Toronto
Don't worry about
and
it.
not in L.A.
He had a long layover.
Yeah.
Had a long layover.
Well, you just said he might re-sign.
That-
Yeah. He looks happy
doubt it.
there.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, L.A.
He's so happy he's got a blue tongue.
Whatever. I can see him in L.A.
Yeah.
Can
Could
you imagine Kawhi?
You can see
AD,
a lot of things in L.A.
LeBron, KD.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the realistic possibilities here.
Okay.
Let's say that David Griffin comes to his senses and he says, okay, I've got to seriously consider what they're offering me. The problem is, after Rob Pelinka said that the 4th overall pick is a powerful asset, it's just not that powerful. So let's start with a draft that is actually, people say it's 3 stars deep, but I can't even go RJ as a 3rd star.
So you said
Sorry
1
about that,
star
Nick.
deep.
It's 2. Ja. I'll give you
Okay,
Ja.
okay.
Yeah, Zion and Ja. So it's a 2-star draft. After that, it's like, I don't know. But you do have, I told you yesterday, you got Darius Garland from Vanderbilt University, a Clutch Sports client, and that's probably where you would head with the 4th pick. He's got some Kyrie in him at about 6'2". He's got the handles, and he's more 2-guard than point guard. Okay, so would the Lakers be mildly interested? Yeah, they might.
Is that who y'all
Okay.
want? Yeah, is that who y'all want to select?
Okay.
Pelicans? 'Cause we'll
But I
select
mean,
it for
now
you.
it's to the Pelicans.
Yes.
Okay. So if you went Lonzo, Kuzma, BI, and probably Darius Garland, let's just throw him in, or whichever way David Griffin would want to go. Would that be enough for AD? I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe David Griffin would think
Hold
about
on.
it.
You said last year that would have been more than enough. You
No.
said if they could get the draft pick, BI, Kuzma, and Lonzo, that would be more than enough.
Big
Not,
zoo.
not all of
Big
a sudden.
zoo.
No, now
He was in the deal.
No.
I like him a lot.
What's happening is you trying to keep LeBron down because you know once we get AD, it's over.
Really?
It's good night for them suckers.
Over?
Yes.
In year 17?
17?
Might be over.
17, 18, 19, doesn't matter.
Really?
Bron getting the ring.
He's going to play as long as Brady?
Bron getting the
I
ring.
don't think so.
Guess what? We get AD, put a ring on it.
Really?
Yeah, the Beyonce song playing in the background as confetti fall in Staples.
Okay, and you're going to trade away all of your base of kids. You're going to trade them all away for this one.
We're going to put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's going to be left?
Don't worry about that. We'll figure.
Rondo, Lance, JaVale.
We are going to put a ring
Who else?
on it.
Yeah. Just those two? It's not enough.
Why you
And,
worry?
and I keep telling you, as PER great as Anthony Davis is, what has he ever done to lift a team deep into the playoffs? He's just not that guy. He's a complimentary
All
star.
they're going to do, look, you can wait all you want to. You can say we're not going to do anything and we'll hold them to the trade deadline.
Yeah.
All that does is just keep suppressing that market. All because all you're doing is letting AD getting closer to the summer of 2020. That's all you're doing. And then he walked. KD crippled. Can you imagine if they said, okay, KD, you want to go to Golden State? We'll trade you to Golden State. Give us Clay and Draymond. Woo! Hey, Shaq, you want to go to L.A.? Give us Penny and such. Okay.
See, you're missing the point. AD and Zion could make New Orleans
He don't want to make
the
nothing.
destination.
He don't want to make no etouffee. He don't want no jambalaya. He don't want no gumbo. AD wants up out of there. He don't want no more beignets. He don't went to Cafe Del Monte too many times. He said, I want out.
It's a great place.
It is a great place.
The line's too long.
I get my beignets with no powdered sugar.
Do you?
Yeah, straight up. I'm old school like that.
Okay. Do you think the Saints love living and playing in New Orleans?
I don't care about
Yes.
I
Skip.
do.
Yes.
Skip. You know NBA superstar
Yeah.
and NFL superstars on a different level.
Okay.
Because you take the look, there is no superstar like you get LeBron and then KD's. Come on, Skip. It's not the same.
Zion?
Okay. AD don't want a part of that. AD says he's got to grow. I don't have time. I'm up out of here. Yep.
Drew Holiday, does he need to grow? I don't think so. Add a free agent. Jimmy Butler?
Memorial Day,
Kimba? I don't know. All of a sudden.
Labor Day,
Huh.
and any other holiday.
That starts to
I'm
look
going to the
pretty
Lakers.
good to me.
I'm going to the Lakers.
Yeah.
You know what? If I'm AD, I hold me a press conference. All the teams that might be interested in my services. In 2020, I will be playing for the Lakers. So you get me on your team at your peril. That's what I'm going to do for y'all.
Press conference?
Press conference. Have it at the crib.
He's going to have to wait another year till LeBron's in year, what are we?
18.
18?
Doesn't matter. No, because he'd be forced to. He'd be forced.
Yeah.
Forced because he get nothing. Then you get role players. Somebody give you a seventh man off the bench for Anthony Davis because they know he's only a rental.
Well, maybe LeBron could give AD a role in Space Jam 3.
Don't worry, we got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what we got. We got a bunch of roles. I know somebody else that got a role.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
I'm going to play Beryl Murray's character. How about that?
You
Really?
are not.
How about that?
I don't know if that
You
fits.
are?
Yeah.
They're doing a Caddyshack remake? Or?
No. You know Bill Murray.
Are you just
The
talking
coach.
your way into the movie? Like the more you talk
Possible.
about it, the
Possible.
more
Possible.
LeBron's
I got
listening.
skills here.
Do you?
Yep.
Acting skills.
No, I do give you that.
Believe that?
You're a good actor.
Good luck with
Somehow I know there's a backhanded compliment in there
Yeah, you're
somewhere.
good at it.
I just got to parse through all of it.
Just a little bit. Let's switch gears, shall we? Should Le'Veon Bell already be upset
Oh,
with
my
the
goodness.
Jets? We'll discuss all of that drama next.
No mercy.
Back to the NFL, and the Jets have now taken the top spot as the most dysfunctional organization in New York. That's hard to do, guys. Yesterday, they fired their GM, Mike McCagnon, and named new coach Adam Gase the acting GM. There has been apparent friction between the two for months, and yesterday it was reported that they butted heads over whether to give Le'Veon Bell a big contract, which Gase did not want to do. Yesterday, Le'Veon tweeted this: "Even if reports are true, that won't stop me from doing what I came here to do. Everyone has a job to do, and I'm going to do mine whether people like me or not. I'm here to win football games." Simple as that. Shannon, what do you make of all this?
It fits the Jet, Skip. And, you know, they spell it out Jets. I got another one. M-E-S-S, mess. Skip, it was reported last offseason when the Steelers franchised Le'Veon Bell, what team was reported showing the most interest? The Jets. Even at the trade deadline, the Jets. Even this offseason, it was almost a foregone conclusion the Jets would be the team that would acquire Le'Veon Bell's service. Even before Adam Gase set foot in wherever they, in Meadowlands or wherever they practice.
Yep.
Florham, I think.
Florham Park.
Florham Park. So this is what I don't get, Skip. Okay, you don't, the ownership has to sign off because you're giving out this kind of money, the ownership's going to sign off. Why not then say, nah, we're going to go in a different direction? Maybe, because it's hard for me to believe that Adam Gase does not like the productivity.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't like some of the things that he's heard, because I'm sure coaches talk, Skip. I'm sure people talk around this league, and he's not very team friendly. It's about Le'Veon. For whatever the case may be, that might not be true, but I'm just saying, you go through the draft, and then a week after the draft, you fire your general manager? Only the Jets. Only the Jets could this be possible. I just don't get it. The Jets needed a running back. Okay, he was the best back available in free agency. Skip, you had tons and tons of cap space. Why are you hoarding the money? Or do you want to win, or do you want to say, we got $100 million in cap space? I thought the objective, because two things can be true. You can win and save money too, but it's hard to win without spending money. And the Jets, I don't get this. They come out, Adam Gase is interim or temporary. What was the word you used for his?
He is the acting GM.
Well, hell, he's been acting like a head coach for a long time. So this job should serve him well.
What did he do in Miami? I can't remember.
I don't know.
That's what I'm
Let me tell you
trying
what
to
he did.
figure
You
out.
know what he did? You know what he did? He happened to be standing on the sideline with a headset when Peyton Manning was in Denver.
That is true.
How about that?
He did that.
Yes.
I'll give him that. And Peyton vouched for him, right?
You know how many guys Peyton Manning done got jobs?
Well, a lot of them. Somewhere right now, Tom Brady is chuckling over all this. He might even be licking his proverbial chops because he gets to play this mess twice, next year and the next year and the next year, because it's going nowhere slowly. And to Jenny's first point, it's hard for me to believe that a city as great as New York City is represented by four of the most incompetent franchises in all of sports. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Because you got Jets and Giants, and then you got the Knicks and the Mets. Those poor New York fans.
Yeah.
Topping each other for the worst.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're a Knicks, that means you probably root for the. If you're a Knicks fan, you root for the Jets or the Giants.
It could be split. It could go either way.
But both of them are a mess.
Yeah.
It hasn't been pretty.
So Christopher Johnson is now the CEO of the Jets because Woody Johnson took off to become the ambassador of the United Kingdom. So I don't even know what Christopher Johnson knows about running a football team.
He said it, Skip.
Okay?
He said he learned it on the job.
I know, he's learned on the job.
Just pick it up.
So obviously, the move he just made, it was a good move, but it came about 6 months too late.
Right.
Because all the signs were all over the locker room wall, all over the executive office wall, that Mike McCagnon has run his course.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to show for what he's done. A lot of bad draft picks. He just traded one of them away. Gaze did yesterday.
Right.
So, why would he let him just keep running amok?
Right.
Right. And you let him spend $120 million. That's a lot of dollars.
Yes.
And in the opinion of the new head coach, now acting GM, he way overspent for the two key pieces that you added in the offseason, right?
Yeah.
So now the message has been sent through social media and media websites. Now all the fans think that Le'Veon is way overpaid.
And CJ.
Way overpaid. They might not even know CJ is yet, but they'll figure out he's way overpaid.
But I guess what? I bet you Le'Veon ain't giving no money back.
No, he's not. But now it's a little awkward. It's a little uneasy because your two key pieces have to go to OTA or training camp or whatever, knowing that the head coach really thought they were bad buys, right?
Man, I go in there my head high. I'm like, hey, Coach Gaze.
Hey,
Appreciate that.
way to go.
I appreciate that.
I got $27 million guaranteed. And it seemed to me from the start on Le'Veon that it seemed like the Jets were bidding against themselves.
They were.
It did.
And he was trying to drive the price up like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Decisions.
Yeah.
That was your only option. You couldn't go back to Pittsburgh. Baltimore, I don't know how much Baltimore was in play. It was the Jets.
It was the Jets or bust. And now everybody now the pressure is heaped on him. Well, now you got to live up to being overpaid.
Right.
So I feel a little sorry for Le'Veon. I feel sorrier for CJ because he got $51 million guaranteed.
Skip, how you turn that down?
Woo.
Yeah.
I mean, because normally, Skip, these defensive guys, they don't normally leave Baltimore, especially their key guys.
That's a good point.
Suggs spent 16,
Yeah,
Ray Lewis 17, Ed Reed, I think, spent 11 or 12.
Yep.
Their defensive stalwarts, they don't leave unless you give them that kind of money. Then they'd be foolish to stay. I mean, why would CJ or anything you made a mistake? I tell you what, let the bank make a mistake and put some extra zeros in my account and see if I can get mad at them.
Well, now Le'Veon has to take to social media to defend himself. He's always defended himself about something.
I'd have took a picture of that check. See, that's why you get checks. Huh? I just take.
Oh.
Click it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd have put that out. I appreciate that,
well?
Jets. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put that out there.
Huh. Interesting.
I would have. So what's Le'Veon supposed to do, Skip?
Himself,
I mean, the fact of the matter is that he said that I know, because we all want to be wanted. We all want the guy, because see, for me, when I was in Denver, when they wanted to trade me, the head coach was the general manager. So I know neither one of them wanted me. So it wasn't no, well, I think the general manager want me, but the head coach don't. The head coach wants me, but the general manager doesn't. The head coach, the guy that's going to be calling the plays. So now, whether or not I'm successful is depending on the guy that didn't really want me here to begin with.
It has been a long time since this team has been relevant. 2010, last time they made.
So now New York's got Daniel Jones and Le'Veon Bell overpaid, right?
Well, one guy was overdrafted.
He was way overpaid.
New York.
If Le'Veon does what Le'Veon does, this will be a bargain.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be a bargain.
Bargain.
Because I don't know how long he's going to last
Well,
at
hey,
that level.
He got to last this year. We'll worry about 2020 and 2020. But right now, let's see him get through 2019, drop a few LBSs, and be Le'Veon Bell.
Yep. I'm just not sure how long Adam Gase is going to last.
Well, he's got a lot of jobs right now. He's a busy guy, acting GM, so a lot of responsibility.
They got a lot of people in positions that they shouldn't have.
It's pretty good to fail at Miami and wind up as both
not a bad
the
gig.
GM and the coach.
Yeah.
That's why Tom Brady, you notice the last couple of years, Tom Brady said, y'all suckers in this division so bad, I'm not even going to OTAs. Tom Brady used to live in OTAs. He would never miss. And now he's like, yeah, bums.
That guy doesn't need it.
He's circling those games.
Yeah, he's like,
He's okay.
man, you think I'm going to let Adam Gase and Sam Darnold, or I'm going to let what's in Buffalo, or who else in that division? Dolphins.
Don't even realize it at that
Nope.
point.
Brian Flores.
Nope.
I know you, Brian. I used to beat you up in practice every day.
He did.
You're not too worried.
Who that quarterback? Oh, I forgot. Josh Rosen.
Yeah. Josh Rosen,
Yeah.
seriously?
You know what? I might have to amend mine. Tom Brady might play till he's 55.
Because of this?
Yeah, because
That's who he's going up against?
this mess. They might better hire me.
That doesn't bother you though, Skip, right?
I'm
He stuck
happy.
around a
I
little
know you
longer.
happy.
Yep.
If he stuck around
That's
a
a
bit
shame.
longer.
That's a shame.
I thought the Jets might put up a little competition this year, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, they brought it to the lead as far as dysfunction.
Well, they
Feels
have.
like this team is far from figuring it out at this point. Guys, I'm excited about this next
Ooh,
one.
here we
One
go.
of the greatest boxers ever. Sugar Ray Leonard is here in studio.
we go.
We'll talk to him about Pacquiao, Mayweather, and so much more. Stay with us next.
No mercy.
Our next guest is a boxing legend. He won world titles in 5 different weight classes, and in 1980, he defeated Roberto Duran in one of the most famous fights ever. He's now featured in the I Am Duran documentary, which is available June 4th. Sugar Ray Leonard, welcome back
Yes,
to
sir.
Undisputed.
Welcome back.
guys.
It's always so special to have you here. Now, that fight was nearly 40 years ago. Are you surprised by how much it is still talked about?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those rare moments for me in fighting who I say is one of the best fighters, champions in the world. I mean, Duran, I remember, vividly, that first punch he hit me with. I mean, Durant.
In the first fight or
in
the
the first,
second fight?
in the first fight, Skip, he hit me. They call him Manos de Piedras, hands of stone.
Yes.
He hit me so hard. I said, who else is in this goddamn ring? You know? But I remember him, and I hated him. I mean, I hate very, very few people. I hated him.
Wow.
Because he talked down to me, he insulted me, insulted my wife.
Yep.
Right.
He did some things that I wasn't really used to, but then again, I couldn't retaliate because I didn't speak Spanish. So
Wow.
that was a reason why I fought him the way I did, toe to toe.
Well, you could have retaliated in the ring.
I could. Well, the smart thing would have been to use my hand
Right.
speed and all this kind of stuff. But he taught me the importance of this thing. You know.
Glad you brought that up because the two most shocking outcomes of mega fights I ever saw, your second fight with Duran and Ali's Rumble in the Jungle victory over George Foreman. Both fights were won with that
With this
to me.
thing, yes.
Both were psychological warfare fights where one mind was just stronger, one strategy was stronger than a superior opponent physically because George Foreman was a bear of man. Ali's camp thought they thought he might literally get killed that night.
Well, he almost killed Joe Frazier.
Yeah, he'd almost in the
When the fight was announced, George Foreman against Ali, I cried because
Really?
I thought the same thing, that he would be annihilated. He would be destroyed by. I mean, George Foreman the way he knocked out Joe Frazier was scary.
Several times, like 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
And
So as you watched the fight unfold, the rope-a-dope unfold, what were you thinking then?
I thought it was smart, and he was. But getting hit by George Foreman or Joe Frazier to the body, to his head, doing the rope-a-dope, it was a cool thing when I saw it, but you can't do that.
But he kept telling George, "Is that all you got?"
That's all. Is
that all you got?
Talking, just breaking him down mentally.
Until he finally, in the 8th round, he knocked him out. Ali knocked out the bear of a man, and you made your guy, who's a bigger, stronger man than you, to me, to my eye. I know you're in the same weight class,
Right.
but he just looked more imposing physically than you looked, and you made him quit.
I like that.
Sounds good.
And how did you pull that off? What was the key to that?
You know, there was my whole thing in the second fight, in the rematch, was to just use my skills, use my hand speed, use my foot speed, mobility. But I never thought in a million years that he would give up that way. He said, I didn't say no mas, but what does this mean?
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
No more.
No
I don't
more.
wanna-
No more.
yeah.
I don't want. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's been debated.
Were you shocked that he did this?
You know, I thought that was a trick. I thought he was doing that to get me closer.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I remember precisely that moment that he did that. And I thought it was a trick. But I stayed away, and then the referee said, "That's it." And I said, and my brother Roger said, "Right, he quit. He yelled because Durant hit him the first fight when my brother jumped into the ring. He nailed my brother.
Yeah.
And so my brother got him back.
Did you think you were in complete psychological, mental control of the fight?
Without question. You don't do this to Roberto Duran. You don't do that to any fighter.
And
be
you
honest.
did it to him.
Yeah, I did it to him. And I sucked my chin out a couple of times. And these things were happening spontaneously. They were not just in my fight plan. It was just happening. And I used my hand and foot speed to the fullest.
You mentioned that he insulted you, he insulted your wife, he said some things that you felt was out of bounds, and you said you wanted to get him back. Is that one of the reasons you felt you lost the first fight? Because you wanted to get him back and you didn't use your smarts, you didn't use the things that you possessed that were better than him, which was footwork, hand speed, staying away.
Yeah, and that's a good question because I was in tremendous shape for the first fight. And it's just, his antics and things, he said things to me that I couldn't retaliate. And it just got the best of me, and it got under my skin. And in that ring, all I thought about was destroying this guy. I thought about breaking him down and knocking him out, which got me in trouble because the minute he hit me, I said, damn, this guy can hit. That's not a little man. It's not a little fighter.
No.
And he rocked me, and it got to a point where I didn't realize that I was losing the fight until maybe the 12th round.
Right. Because back then it was 15 rounds.
15 rounds back then, yeah. And it was like, it was a weird thing. I even contemplated retirement. I was saying, after this fight, this is it. I don't need this anymore in my life. Because getting hit that hard and I couldn't hurt, it seemed like I couldn't hurt him. He was that strong.
Right. You've been around the game a long time, and we've seen the transition. We've had faces of boxing, be it Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and Mike Tyson, yourself and Marvin Hagler. Who's the new face of boxing post-Floyd Mayweather?
The one who's had the impact is Canelo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious this guy. When my wife knows the fighter,
Right.
right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's, Canelo's fighting next week. I'm like, what? No, he's made an impact.
Right.
He's been brought up the right way and the right fights. He sells out huge venues, arenas. I mean, really.
He's definitely the new pay-per-view cash king.
Without question.
How do we get the Deontay Wilder and the Anthony Joshua? That seems to be the heavyweights is always where it's been. Sugar Ray, even though when in the '80s when it was you and Hagler and Tommy Hearns, Duran, it's always been the heavyweights, and these are the two best.
Yeah.
How do they get these guys together? It's so much money to be made.
More money.
No, but will it lose its luster if one of these guys lose before they fight?
Yes, without question. You've destroyed what could have been so natural. I mean, that fight is so highly anticipated.
Right.
People want to. I want to see the fight.
I want to see it.
I want to see the fight. Right. That fight has to happen for their legacy.
Right.
For their track record. Right. I mean, that's a natural fight.
But you're not talking about household names
Right.
yet. You're not talking about Ali and Frazier.
No.
Not
Well,
yet.
because one, Anthony Joshua is a Brit, and Deontay.
Yeah.
But see, when you talk about George Foreman, the Ali, American fighters, Joe Frazier,
Yeah.
Ken Norton, Larry Holmes, those were the big guys here in America. So we want an American heavyweight champ, but unfortunately, they got like 15 different belts spread out against 5 guys.
Well, that's what dilutes the whole championship,
Right.
possession.
Right.
Because there's so many. It's like WBC, WBA, IBU, UB me. I mean, it's just too many.
Right.
It is. I truly believe that. It's like you're the champ and you're almost a champ, and then there's another belt say working to be champ.
Right.
I mean, it is. I'm being facetious, but it's real though.
Yep, it is. So there's still one fighter out there who has a huge following around the world, including in this country, and that is Manny Pacquiao. He is nearing the end, if not about to run into the end,
Right.
but he's got Keith Thurman live on Fox pay-per-view on July 20th. What shot do you give Manny at this stage and age?
What is he? 40 what? Is he 42?
Should be about 41, 42.
They called me old at 30. They did. When I came back for Hagler, I said, Ray's past his point. I'm 30 years old. And now they're fighting at 40. I mean, I don't even remember 40, to be honest. Well, I do remember. I lost to Camacho. But it depends on what's left, what he has left. Not physically. It's here. It's mentally. We become civilized.
That's a good point.
I became civilized when I came back at 40. Because you don't have that same mindset. You don't have that same conviction. You don't. In other words, when
That thirst for blood is not there anymore.
it's not there. But here's the crazy thing about it. You get in physically, we get in tremendous shape
Right.
again. But you just don't have the same drive, or you go in there with conviction and bang the guy to the body because you know he's gonna hit you back. This is interesting. I don't know what Pacquiao has left.
Right.
I don't know, but I know fully well he doesn't have that thing we used to have back in the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, remember, he's a politician. He's an ambassador.
Oh.
He's got a lot of things going on
Yeah.
besides this.
A lot of things going on. You can't. I don't know any politician that could be a world champ. No, really.
No, well,
it just doesn't mesh.
But as a prize fighter, can you be anything other than a prize fighter? Can you have two? Can you wear two hats?
You answer your question. No, you can't wear two hats. You can't wear two hats in boxing. That's a whole different concept. No, you can't. I call it tunnel vision. You gotta have tunnel vision, or like Rocky said, Sly said, the eye of the tiger.
Right.
You gotta have that to win.
Every day.
Every day, every day. You live that every single day. You can't deviate. You can't. I'm work on here. I'm working on this project a little bit. No. First and foremost.
You said something very interesting. I'm listening to you talking. You said the thing that got you is that all of a sudden you know you could throw a punch, but you didn't want to take that punch.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, when I was at my best, I would throw punches without thinking about it.
Right.
Now.
You know something coming back, huh?
Oh yeah, I said, I said, nah, man. I know, man. Maybe tomorrow.
Right.
And it sounds funny and simple. It's so true. It's so true. It's
subconscious. You don't know that but you just know.
It's subconscious. Yeah, it is. It is subconscious because you don't know.
You don't know it
until you get in that ring, and someone coming at you. You just don't have. You don't have it.
But you don't feel it in sparring. You don't feel it when you're training because you're going through everything is the same thing. You're like whoop whoop, and then once you get into that ring,
the real fear. The real. Fighters don't. We would never say, I was scared of this. Yeah, I have. But after I retired, finally, yeah, I was scared. I was nervous and this and that. But those things made me who I am.
Right.
It made me more alert. It made me faster. It made me smarter. Yeah.
Allow me to say, in conclusion, that you and Ali shared one thing. You had the two strongest minds in the ring in your prime that I ever saw in a boxing ring. Strongest minds, both of you. That's what set you two apart.
Well, thanks. You're right. That's what this saved me every time, and that's why I'm here with you guys today.
It's fascinating to hear you tell stories. Thank you so much for
so
joining
much.
us today. And
Hands
don't
feel
forget.
fast, huh?
There.
You snapped it real quick.
Well, I saw you flinch.
I did too.
No, I did that.
Yeah, it was really fast.
You brought it.
Yeah, I brought it back. Yeah,
You can't leave that thing out there. Somebody coming over the top of it, huh?
you did that.
Thank you again for being here. You're welcome anytime. Don't forget the I Am Durant documentary, available June 4th, and we will see you right back.
Oh, man.
No mercy.
How about this? Let's get to Skip's Cowboys.
How about it?
How about it? How about them Cowboys? Did I do that right? Dak Prescott is going to get a lot of money. It's just a matter of when. His rookie deal is up at the end of this season. Stephen Jones said talks were, quote, off and running. Dak could reportedly get about $30 million a year, but he doesn't seem too concerned. Dak said yesterday, quote, I want to be a Cowboy forever. I think the people that are doing the deal feel the same way. So to me, it's no rush. I know it will get done. Shannon, how many more years will Dak be the Cowboys starter?
Good question.
Okay, he's probably going to get somewhere around a 5 or 6 year deal. And he's going to get at least halfway through it. The thing is that Tony Romo was going to be the Dallas Cowboy quarterback forever, even though he hadn't won a Super Bowl and didn't seem close to winning one. So, you know what, Skip? I'm gonna be nice to you.
Maybe you're going to hedge your bet. Maybe that's what
Hedge
you're
it.
doing.
Let's see, this will be year 4. I gave him 4 more years. Cowboy.
4?
4. Tops. And then
Well-
Jared's going to say, you know what, we ain't won no titles.
That is correct. If you're right about Dak Prescott, you think he's an average quarterback. So I'm here to tell you that if he gets his big deal, then they go, you think they'll go sort of 7 and 9-ish next year. And if they have 2 straight 7 and 9s, no playoff years, I promise you, 3 years from now, if he's gone 7 and 9 and 7 and 9, they will be looking to replace him in 3 years. Because Jerry ain't getting any younger. He talks often about, I'm getting old, right?
I don't know how many more times.
I don't know. And I just know the impatience level in that franchise, in that city. And
But why wasn't he impatient with Tony Romo? Tony Romo never even made it to the conference championship game.
Well, he made a lot of Pro Bowls and put up a lot of gaudy
You
numbers.
want look, they don't hang banners for Pro Bowl players. They hang banners for Super Bowl winning teams.
Yeah, but just when you thought it was time to get rid of Tony Romo, he'd throw a 13-3 or 12-4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, Dak got one of those
Okay.
too. Dak said, I got 13-3 out the gate.
He's got
and
two
I was
of them.
rookie of the, he didn't know the two of them. They
Well,
were 10-6
let me answer Jenny's question by telling you that Dak Prescott will be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for at least 15 years.
So 11 more
15.
years.
Yep,
Oh, my
11 more
goodness.
years. And just for the record, Troy Aikman was the quarterback for 12 years. Then he unfortunately got hurt.
3
and had to stop.
titles.
Yep.
And he'd have been the quarterback. So, you know, when you win those titles, Skip, ask Eli. Eli, when's the last time Eli won one?
Tony Romo lasted 11 years, to your
It
point.
with no titles, not even a
And
championship
Roger
game.
Staubach had titles. He
Yeah.
lasted 8 years, but he didn't start until he was 28.
Exactly.
So, and then he had to stop because of concussions
Concussions.
at 38.
The same reason
Yeah.
Troy had to
Yeah.
stop.
Okay, same reason. That's
Yeah.
right. Troy had all kinds of things going wrong.
Yeah.
But
Back.
the point is, Dak Prescott has not missed a game yet. He is highly durable.
Okay.
And yet he needs to use his legs to complement his arm, so he will take some punishment, but he is a big man who can withstand the punishment, and he tends to play pretty smart when he runs with the football, unless he needs to make the play to win the game against Seattle, and then he might go helicopter on it.
Whatever,
If
Skip.
needed, if
Well,
needed.
If needed, he will go helicopter
Find a way.
John Elway Memorial
So
on
15,
you.
so Dak Prescott going to be the quarterback
I
for
believe
Dallas
he'll
for
be 15.
years.
He is just starting to enter his prime. He just gets a little better and a little better by the game. And he obviously won his first playoff game last year. Came close to winning another
No, he
one last
didn't.
year. Yes, he did. It was 30-22. It was a
It wasn't that
one-score
close.
game.
It wasn't that close.
And he outplayed Jared Goff.
No, he
in
did
that
not.
game. He did too. Look at the QBR.
Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Now, you just told me it doesn't matter if I play you as long as I win the game. That's what you just told me about Giannis and Kawhi. You just told me.
Well, he had to overcome a defense.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's the difference. In basketball, you can play both sides of the ball, right? You
Right.
can actually play defense and help
Right.
yourself on defense. Unfortunately, Dak cannot play defensive line.
DeMarcus Lawrence
he
said,
can't, he can't stop the LA Rams from running for 273 yards. It's hard to overcome that, right?
DeMarcus Lawrence said, I sure wish I could play offense so we can get more points than 0 against the Colts.
Did he
How
say
about that?
I didn't hear him
That's
say
what Jalen
that.
Smith said.
No, I'm not
I
sure
sure
I
wish
heard
we could
that.
get more points than 14 that we scored against the Titans.
Did they win the division?
No, I didn't talk about that.
Who won the division?
I didn't ask you that.
Well, that's all I care
A
about.
temporary setback.
Yeah.
You won't win it this
Yeah.
year.
You know what? If Dak had a semblance of a defense here at the Coliseum,
do that.
a semblance that day, well, what do you
know
do
what?
with 273 yards rushing?
And DeMarcus Lawrence said we had a semblance of an offense against the Colts. If we had a semblance of an offense, guess what? If we'd had that against Tennessee and the Colts, guess what? The Rams would have had to come to us. But since we didn't, we had to go on the road to them in the Coliseum.
Guess what? Dak Prescott's going to make you eat a lot of Monday crow.
No, he won't.
How do you like it? Fried or do you like it
I like
baked?
I like it walking to him style.
Do you?
Over easy.
Yeah, really?
That's how he do it.
Really?
You gonna see.
We'll
He gonna put
see.
a stop to he
Bounce
gonna
it to him?
walk into him, gonna put a stop to all this blasphemy that you're speaking up, spewing up here. It's gonna come to an end in the fall.
Dak Prescott will last much longer in Dallas than walk it to him lasts in
No, he
Philadelphia.
won't. No, he won't.
Yeah.
No. Brotherly love.
The brotherly shove is what they got in
Well, first of all,
Philadelphia.
Skip, here's the thing.
Yeah.
But see, the reason why he'll last longer because nobody expect the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. See, we got expectations in Philly. Yeah.
I got big expectations.
You know,
He
you,
expects
I-
him to win
hey.
something.
We're going to be there. Fox is going to be there.
Fox will be there.
Dak will be there.
Putting a lot of pressure
Yeah,
on
And
him.
not just to appear on shows.
Oh, yeah,
He'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
there
yeah.
to,
Go ahead and put
he'll
our
be there
bid in
to
there.
play.
Put our bid in early because he'll be right there walking around. I'm sure he'll be peddling something. So he'll be able to come on the
Really?
show. Yeah.
Isn't it going to be something?
Yeah,
We're going to
some
be
yogurt.
there. The Cowboys, Cowboy Nation will be in Miami.
Can't believe
You
you're
ready
not
for that?
knocking on wood. You want me to help you?
No,
Skip?
I don't need to knock
don't
on
need
wood. That's
to.
not an injury thing or a jinx thing. That's just a gut feeling.
And it'll gut feeling. You didn't take your probiotics. That's what's going on in your
I
gut.
took them.
You're probably
I took 'em
hungry.
every morning.
Your stomach grumbling. You're probably hungry.
I am.
All right, Shannon, get used to talking about the Cowboys if we're listening to Skip and what he thinks about their future. How about this? Will Steph Curry and the Warriors blow out the Blazers again tonight?
Nope.
We'll make some predictions.
No mercy.
Hey, welcome back. The Herd is coming up next right here on FS1. Let's head over check in with Colin today. Hey, Colin, what is on the show?
Oh, I'm told Zion now suddenly loves New Orleans. And the Golden State Warriors, we all know they're good, right? This dynasty's better than we think it is. And I'll give you some alarming numbers for the rest of the league next.
All right, Colin, thank you. Speaking of that one, time for our final topic of the day. The Warriors can take a 2-0 lead against the Blazers tonight at Oracle. Steph Curry had a monster 36-point performance in Game 1. Kevin Durant is likely still out tonight, but the Warriors are still favored by 7.5 points. Shannon, what's the score tonight?
You know, I've been on a roll, Skip.
Oh, yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah,
I hadn't noticed.
I said they were going to score 115. They got 116. Made me out to be a liar.
Really?
I said the final score last night between them was going to be 104-96. They
Really?
went by 8.
Really?
They went 108-100. Made me out to be a liar.
What'd you have in Game 7 on Sunday? I can't remember.
Toronto.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, but
we
you
ain't
gave
talking
me
about
4
that.
points.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Blazers and the Warriors. I got the Warriors 120-109.
120-109, so they will cover?
More than cover. You want
More
some?
than cover? No, I don't want any. I'm with you on this because I fear that tonight will hugely resemble what happened in Game 1 because, again, it opened at 8. It got bet down to 7.5, so some people are saying that's a little too rich for my blood, but I don't think it is. I think it'll be reasonably close to 3/4 like it was the other night, and then, boom, the ceiling will fall in on the visiting team, and I think Portland will win. Golden State will win 112-100.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can't let Golden State go get 39 in the fourth of a 6-point ball game.
Yep.
And end up getting blown out because the game was really close. I mean, the game was right there for the Blazers.
Down 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you give up 39 in the fourth quarter. They were tired. They just fell apart, got sloppy with the ball. Dame and CJ will play better tonight. It'll be close, but Golden State will win in the end. By the way.
Hope so.
You're
just. I noticed you're on a roll.
Sharp and dominant.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.